It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
Welcome back, everybody, to Operation Babble. This is episode 149. Dude, we're going to hit 150 before the end of the year. Awesome.
Yeah.
Totally awesome. I am, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, how are you doing today, dude?
I'm a little tired because I'm on vacation and not used to being up this early.
Are you still on vacation?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Nice.
It technically just started.
Okay. All right. Real quick, everybody, before we get into the show, we got to do some dirty business. You can find Operation Babble on all social media platforms. That is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as long as, it's still around. And then we are also on YouTube via the Myke Shrews YouTube channel. That is MYKESHREWS YouTube channel. You can also go to, I think it's youtube.com/@MykeShrews. And there's a whole playlist there of nothing but Operation Babble dating back, I think, almost to the first episode. Before we even did video and everything, and before Tivis was even here. Hey.
Yay. The good old days.
And then we will be, like I said previously, we will be creating a YouTube channel specifically for Operation Babble. So if you want to subscribe to that already, there is no content there yet, but you can also go to youtube.com/@operationbabble. That way you'll be notified when the first videos do start getting up on there too. So just hit the bell icon and all that fun stuff there. Other than that, you can also email us at operationbabble@outlook.com for any questions of, if you want to ask us any pop culture related questions, if you want to suggest topics, suggest movies, shows, music, musicians, anything in the media realm, I guess, for us to either check out or try and get people onto the podcast with. And, or if you yourself want to come on and, shill yourself and everything like that. We love it if you shill yourselves because we are not shills.
Speak for yourself. Give me that money.
I don't get paid to say anything, so I don't care. All right. So that said, let's dive into this episode. Unless you have something else to say before we dive in, then.
No, I got none.
All right. So, guys, we're going to start this episode out. It's going to be a little sad. I'm going to start the episode out paying respect to all of our celebrities that we have lost in 2022. Don't worry, we're not going to be on this subject for very long, but we do want to show some respect to all the great artists out there. Yes, I know people are going to be like, well, why just artists? Well, it's a pop culture podcast. That's why, guys. Like, I pay respect to everybody else out there, my family, and all that stuff. I love,
Hold on. I'll get anyone named John who has passed away this year, we miss you.
Let me get my baby name book and we'll just go through it all. Although nowadays you got to remember, you got to add in east, west, north, south. What is it? Chocolate and XEIO 257010, whatever, all these weird ass names. Anyways,
that's only Elon's kid.
To rest in peace to our celebrities of 2022. And first we're going to start off with the two most recent big ones for us. I know we recently had the passing of our Jason David Frank, JDF, the Green Ranger, as most people know him, White Ranger, massive Power Rangers,
2 Red Rangers, Black Ranger,
everything. I think he's been in the most Rangers franchises, hasn't he? of
I
any
believe
actor
so.
out there.
I'll double check
And
that.
even if it was just a cameo, because even him and Amy Jo Johnson were in the recent movie that they had done too.
Yeah, the 2017.
Yeah, just as like a little cameo, but yeah. Um, but yeah, JDF passed away. He was also a MMA fighter for people who don't remember. So it was always fun to see people getting their ass kicked by the Green Ranger in real life. So that was fun when he did his little stint over there.
Yeah, everyone will remember his feud with CM Punk that didn't have any conclusion.
Didn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, they never fought.
I remember when Jean-Claude Van Damme tried to start shit with him at a con. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, and it was all on video, too. You can watch it on YouTube. I think JDF handled it pretty well, but I feel Jean-Claude would have got his ass kicked. I mean, and I'm a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, too, so. Anyways. All it has to take is the Dragon Sword. It's morphin' time.
Of his... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry.
Oh, go on.
All right. So of his 1 mixed martial arts and 4 amateur MMA, he went undefeated.
Did he?
Yeah, he had 5
Okay.
fights, no losses.
Yeah.
2 knockouts, 3 submissions. Damn.
Nice. Yeah. I only watched a couple of his matches or like clips. I never, because I don't really watch MMA. I prefer my men to be fighting, be staged. So you know, if I wanted to watch Gladiators fight, I'd just watch Gladiator. Anyways, yeah, it was a sad, tragic news when we heard of him. I didn't believe it when I first heard it until, of course, some actual
I
real
mean, it was a
reports.
circus all for majority of a day until
Yeah,
someone could. I hope to God that's not how his kids found out.
right, right. That would suck.
Like, there's a reason most people don't say anything until it's officially released by the family.
Right, right.
So I don't know who leaked it to the public, but
The
what were
the
you
only
thinking?
thing that I saw on there was something about his trainer was like
Yeah,
the
his
first
trainer
one.
was one of them. There was another one, like an agent.
Also, how does your trainer know first before anybody else, unless they're the ones who found you, you know? That's
It
just
could be.
weird. Hollywood's weird. Um yeah, it was sad news to hear of, and especially for their families, for his family. I hope that they're doing okay and handling everything.
Mhm.
I didn't want to talk about it right away because of the families and stuff, but uh, he did mean a lot to, of course, yes, his family, but also to lots and lots of people out there,
Oh, just
generations
the
of
outpouring
people.
of people who said they were inspired by this guy
Yeah.
that, get in shape, pursue
Mhm.
their goals, to get into acting, to get into MMA. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He definitely was an inspiration, and the one thing I did say on social media about it was only on Twitter, and I said something to the lines of like, it's just really hard to explain the impact that someone like him can have on your life, because like for me as a child, it was Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, dude. Like those were the two main things in my life. And so if it wasn't, watching the Turtles do something, I was watching the Power Rangers do something, and seeing this guy who was essentially a villain at first. He comes in as a bad guy and turns into like one of the not best, but like goodest human
Good.
beings, I guess, on the
Goodest.
show. The goodest is not a great word, but one of the better like human beings within the show, like
He
all the
was so
PSAs and stuff.
liked by us, the audience, that he only had like 17 episodes originally to his name.
Hmm.
They had so many letters from parents of kids wanting him back because he was
Yeah.
originally supposed to go on to VR Troopers and do his own thing. They recast that and brought him back. They rewrote the story and brought the Green Ranger back.
Yeah. Well, that's when he came back as White Ranger, right?
No, he came back with his powers failing for a while, and then they came up with the White Ranger because they had to use new footage.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they had already run out of the original Sentai and were using, for literally 20 something episodes, they had original footage that the Japanese went and shot specifically for the American show.
Oh, nice. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Saban had a lot of power, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy to think that. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I have seen most of his stints like in the other shows, even though I haven't watched the other shows. Like I've seen his
I'm
clips in
coming
them
up
and
on
stuff.
his last appearance in oh god, I can't remember what it's called, like Super Ninja Steel or Ninja Super Steel or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, because he comes back for the anniversary episode in that, so I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to you know seeing his
Checking it out.
last appearance. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I do know that he was working on the movie Legend of the White Dragon.
Mhm.
We'll see what happens with that. I know the studio said, out of respect, they're going to wait to talk about the movie too for a little bit. I respect for the family and everything like that. So I don't know how far down he was with the production of it. Like I don't know if he was a producer or anything like that on there. So, but yeah, he also did the voice of Tommy Oliver and Lord Dracon in the Battle for the Grid video game from 2019 as well.
Yeah,
If
and he
people
did
didn't know.
a short little promo for the comics, which is out on YouTube of him and the character.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm. Oh,
That that
he also appeared at it for the RPG season Hyperforce.
mhm.
So I'm looking forward to watching that. I just, what was it, like a week or two ago? I just watched his episode where he's on. So
Yeah. Wait, they had Lord Dracon in Hyperforce?
yes, it
I
was
did
part of the
not know that.
crossover with the comics. Yep.
That's awesome. But yeah, if people want to go and see just like the little promo, it's Power Rangers Shattered Grid is what it's called on YouTube.
Hmm.
And that's just a little short and it's really cool. It shows what like Power Rangers can really do, honestly. If you want to take it to a little bit of a darker place, but still staying within the kid-friendly realm.
The comics are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best thing the franchise has produced in a long time.
But he has done other stuff out there, guys. Definitely check out his IMDb if you want to see more JDF stuff. I know of a movie. There was the
What was
Dragon Warrior or something like that. It was like, geez, that's probably like 10 years ago now. But that was fun to watch. He was in there, and there's a bunch of little ones here and there, but most of his stuff is Power Rangers or Power Rangers adjacent type of work for sure.
yeah?
Um,
Well, him and Walter Jones were in oh god, what was that Urkel show? Family Matters.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they both appeared in the same episode of that. That was fun to see people posting.
yeah, yeah. Um, what's your
He
I
looks
gotta
real
ask
young
though.
in that.
I gotta ask because we're both Power Rangers fans. Like, what is your favorite version of JDF as a Power Ranger? Is it like green, white? You know, the other colors because he was like black and red. Um,
I
or like Lord
honestly,
Dracon or what?
well, yeah, I wish I could have saw him play Draken more, but uh, or Dracon, however you pronounce it. But
Yeah, I don't know. I just say it the
probably
same.
um, Dino Thunder, where he's the mentor. Like there is
Okay.
an unproduced season that Disney threw away the idea of it was supposed to be a team led by Austin St. John's, Jason, original Red Ranger, and
Mm-hmm.
JDF's Tommy, and they were
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have two teams of Rangers which were training independently, and I guess, kind of rivalry before the teams mixed. And it sounded like a really cool idea, but just seeing him in a mentor, like the Zordon role for that season was really awesome. And then he joins the team as the Black Ranger. It's
Seems kind of like Cobra Kai.
yeah, I guess in a way, yeah. Years in advance. This is like 20,
Right.
oh god, around 2010.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That would have been awesome to see something like that adapt from this, because it would have worked too with the way their characters always were as well. I feel. I don't know too much of what Austin St. John would have brought to the character, because I haven't really seen him in the Power Rangers aura in a very long time. So
Yeah, he just did that thing a couple years ago for the anniversary
yeah.
and Beast Morphers, but
Okay. Yeah. So no, dude, like yeah, I think my favorite costume, I'll say, is the Green Ranger costume. It's just top notch for
the
me.
American or Japanese?
Um the American. I like the American one.
You like the styrofoam? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about the Bat in the Sun version?
I do. I really do. I'm still on the hunt for a Green Ranger helmet to go in my collection. I already have the White Ranger helmet, the Red Ranger helmet, and the Pink Ranger helmet, all wearable helmets too. On a shelf up here. Unfortunately, people can't see them, and I wasn't gonna pull them down because they're a pain in the butt to put back up because they're all on stands and everything. But I want to find the Green Ranger helmet, and unfortunately now people are doing that thing where they are taking advantage of a celebrity's death
Oh,
and
dude, it's
charging a
not just the
buttload.
helmets. The going back to the comics, they released
Yeah.
thick like hardcovers of
Mhm.
every year. And the year one, I believe, is the one with the Green Ranger on the cover. That thing has shot up to like $600.
Yeah. I can see that. I actually just bought some fabric last night from Joann's. It has the Green Ranger on it. It has a
Really?
bunch of. I was thinking, I was like, I, it was funny. We were at the store last night. I'm sorry, it's still in Power Rangers, but I found this dope Power Rangers fabric, and I was like, "Hey, babe." And she's like, "What do you?" I was like, "Buy all of this," because it wasn't a whole lot left of that fabric. But then I found more of it later in the store on another shelf, and I was like, "Here, just can we just get all this?" She's like, "What are you gonna do with all of it? Like, it's just gonna sit around. You don't even sew anymore. Like, you don't do anything with the fabric." Because I just love to have the fabric. And I was like, "We can make curtains for the office," and she's like, "No." In no world or universe is that ever happening. No. And for people who don't know, my office is actually open to the rest of the house, so that's why she says, "Hell no." um, yeah. Anyways, that was a fun little thing, and she's like, "Why do you want it?" I was like, "Cause it has all the Power Rangers on it. Like it has the original crew plus Tommy on there." So
Yeah.
it was awesome. There was another print that had them just their heads floating around on this random print, which wasn't as cool because these ones are full bodies. It has even Trini, so rest in peace to her too. I know it's been a
Mhm.
very long time for her. So.
Yeah, 21 years.
Has it been 21 now?
Yeah, 2001 was that accident.
Damn. All right. So yeah, I don't know where else to go without trying to, I just want to pay respect to JDF,
Yeah.
and I hope that
No.
everyone in his family is good, and they're gonna hold on, and and all of his friends out there, because I know I did watch Amy Jo Johnson, and she got me to tear
I
up a little
can't
bit.
bring
So
myself to watch that. I'll watch
yeah,
it eventually, but I don't have the mindset yet.
yeah. Um, but do you want to do the traditional thing when we talk about a death like this? Because I'm never good at that part.
Oh, yeah. Uh, so, what came out was uh, Look, if you know anyone out there who's struggling with issues, let them know that there are people out there, even if you're not the best at it, just reach out to them once in a while, talk to them.
Mhm.
And if you're struggling with this yourself, uh, what is it? 488, I believe, is the new. Uh,
I'm not sure because they have like one big one.
988. I'm sorry,
Okay.
988 is the new number here in the States. There's a bunch of other ones, but if you're struggling with like really deep depression and harmful thoughts to yourself, like reach out. Like
Mhm.
you're not alone. You're not the only one feeling that. And sometimes, you just need someone to talk it through with. So it's not. This isn't an easy conversation for anyone to
Yeah.
have.
No.
Uh,
Uh, I know that you had posted something like that on Facebook, so I just
yeah,
wanted you to
I
do it
yeah.
rather than I because I would probably screw it all up. Uh, Moving on though to another sad death. Then let's we briefly mentioned Kevin Conroy's passing of the one true Batman. We mentioned that on the last episode, the Derelicts episode, which again, sorry for that movie, guys. Um, yes, Tivis is showing off. Is that the Batman Beyond? Or no,
No, this is
that's the
the
animated.
animated series. Yeah, I got the Beyond here though,
Okay.
with the ugly ass Funkos they put in them.
Yeah. Yeah. Kevin Conroy did pass away. He was only 66, I want to say. I don't
Yeah,
recall his exact
66
age.
from intestinal cancer. So
Yeah. Um, which also JDF was only in his 40s, dude.
oh yeah, he was 49.
Whew. Anyways, yeah. So Kevin Conroy's everyone knows the voice of Batman. That's where he's best known for. He recently did a stint on of a character on the He-Man TV show for Netflix, the He-Man Revelations. I believe that's no Masters of the Universe Revelations or whatever the heck they called it.
I thought it was the Kevin Smith one, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's it. But they
Okay,
didn't
yeah,
call it He-Man. They call it Masters of the Universe,
yeah.
something else. So I mean, I'm sure that Tivis knows a ton more voice work that he's done than I do. But I always remember him as my Batman.
Oop.
He played Hordak. Hordak, yeah, and He-Man in the Masters of the Universe. Uh, that's not the Kevin Smith one. And then he
No, oh, I
also
thought it was.
played Merman in the Kevin Smith one. That's what it is. Okay.
Oh, okay. So he did a couple characters.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I'm not in the know of He-Man, so
Yeah. But he played Batman throughout pretty much everybody's life that's listening right now. He most likely was the voice of Batman wherever you
yeah.
listened or watched. Yeah. Yeah. So um
Yeah, I
yeah.
was actually listening to a bit of his career, and when they cast him, he didn't even like he was trying to be a theater actor,
Mhm.
and some people he knew who did some voice work on the side to earn some extra money. So he's like, I'll go do that. So he was with his agent got him in touch with the Batman's production team, Bruce Timm and all that,
Mhm.
and Paul Dini, and he started reading his character. Then he was started listening to all the other people, and he's like, they're like, we would love for you to be Batman. He's like, can I just be like any of these other more interesting characters?
Nice.
Yeah, he was trying to turn down the role he was given because he wanted to play one of the other he loved to play characters.
Right, right.
Yeah. And they're
That's
like, "Oh
awesome.
no, you got," they're like telling him why Batman's such an interesting case to convince him to stay on. They wanted him so bad.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Um, there's not much to say right like with that one wasn't like a big shock to me honestly because we kind of knew he had um
I did.
you didn't I thought it was a
No,
public thing.
I had
um
no idea.
where the hell did I hear of it then beforehand?
I mean, it may have been, and I just missed it.
Okay. uh but yeah, it and he actually seemed older to me all the time every time I saw him. I always thought he was older, but again, that's of course the disease unfortunately does that um with lots of people. But yeah, I again, to his family, his kids and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure most of them were prepared in some way if they all knew, you know.
Yeah,
um
it's insane. Like, I complain a lot on here about voice actors not getting their dues
mhm,
with the movie makers and stuff.
mhm,
Um, Kevin only had, I believe, one of his Batman go to theaters, and that's Mask of the Phantasm.
mhm,
And you ask any fan, especially our age or even older and younger, he's like, "Who is the best Batman?" More often than not, you will get Kevin Conroy instead of one of the many other, people have portrayed him on screen because he
right.
just is Batman. And it's awesome that we got to see him in the role of Bruce once, at
Mhm.
least once. I wish we had got they oh WB, you drag
CW.
your feet. There's a helicopter. Is that my end or yours?
Not mine.
That's mine. Okay, that's weird. I hope that's not being picked up. Uh, but WB, you fucking dragged your feet for how long, and now you missed the perfect opportunity to have him. I mean, people have been crying for a Batman Beyond forever, and they're like, Michael
Yeah.
Keaton, Michael Keaton. No, Kevin Conroy would have been so good in that.
Unfortunately, though, I will say there are there is a mass amount of fans out there who might have watched the original animated series or some of these animated movies and stuff. Don't still didn't know who the hell Kevin Conroy was, and their true Batman is going to be Michael Keaton. You know, and I understand that like not everybody knows everything and about all these characters and actors and stuff like that. So I understand where the outcry for Michael Keaton to become Bruce Wayne in like a Batman Beyond type film. Um which they kind of did with Batgirl, but oh wait, that movie doesn't exist anymore. Thanks WBD fuckers.
Yeah.
Anyways, oh, let's not talk about WB.
Mm.
um yeah, so it was a sad news too for that. That was a couple weeks ago now, where Kevin Conroy did pass away. It was actually only a few days before JDF, wasn't it? So it wasn't a couple weeks ago. It was about a week ago or so.
November, they were about 11 days away.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that was a sad, shocking one too. In a way of like, oh man, that sucks. Shocking. Like it wasn't shocking that it happened because he was of an older age, even though 60s.
That's pretty young, dude.
Yeah,
66
that's
is young.
still young. Yeah. Yeah, because I was just talking to my wife about somebody that we know who's in their 60s, and I was like, they still have a good 40 years left. Like, they can go out and live a whole nother life right now, you know? She's like, 40 years? That's like 100. I was like, and my goal is to live to at least 200. I probably should stop drinking this shit then.
Yeah, well, I'm not
I
doing
won't
the
say what
eggnog.
I'm drinking on the air, but I did show a picture of it. So
We need that shill money.
this is not a sponsor.
Yeah.
And this is not
But
a ad to a PSA to
it,
not
it's
drink it.
if Kevin hit especially the comic community
Yeah.
because he was in between so many creators in that world
Mm.
passing away. I mean, Kevin O'Neill, we mentioned
Yeah.
on I believe our Monsters Twitter, the artist for Judge Dredd and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and
Yep.
then Carlos Pacheco the day before Kevin, and then the day after JDF, Vic Carabata passed away, and there's even
Yeah.
more in between those. And then
Yeah.
you got Greg Bear, the amazing sci-fi writer, passing away. And it's like,
And people forget about the
God, this
writers
year.
too, which sucks. It's a horrible year. It's like especially because it's like at the end of the year. It's kind of like last year where like Betty White died like right at the end of the freaking year.
A
It
week
was like,
before her 100th.
what the hell, Death? Like, chill out at the end of the year. You don't have to meet your quota at the end of the year, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
calm
God,
down.
George Perez earlier this year is,
Mhm.
and you know, sad as this is just going to be the new norm going forward. And we keep saying this sucks, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we're
our
getting as
the
we get
generation,
older.
yeah, our parents were the ones who started watching like all of these people, all of these
Yeah.
actors that are now in their older age. It's, and you know, because of them we grew up with it by, you know, osmosis or whatever, proxy, I don't know, whatever word you want to use, but so there's all these people who are well known that are just getting on, and this is how it's going to be. There's going to be so many people just,
Yeah.
that's sad to think about, but that's just going to become a norm.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is going to be a norm. And that's the thing I was thinking about the other day is like, I'm getting older. So, of course, the people I grew up watching are going to be, you know, starting to kick the bucket, unfortunately. Uh, and, you know, there's going to be some big ones that hit and it's going to hit really hard for a lot of people out there. And specifically for certain communities of like film watchers and stuff like that, like Ray Liotta passed away this year as well. People, the film, like a lot of people really know him from Goodfellas. He was also in most recently that Tivis would know, Hubie Halloween. He was in that. And I think he was it Paul Blart Mall Cop, or was it the one with Seth Rogen that he was in?
Well, one I haven't seen, the other one I refuse to watch.
One you haven't seen, the other one you refuse to watch. Okay. It was either I forget because they kind of both blend together. I want to say it's the one with fudge. What's his name? Seth Rogen. I think it was the one with Seth Rogen because he was a dick in it. Yeah. So whatever that one was called, I don't remember. Is that sad?
There's so
But
much
Ray
out there.
Liotta's been a freaking awesome actor. Like throughout my life, like I've watched him in so much stuff. I think he was in the recent Sin City movie as well, the sequel one. I know you told me the other day you actually haven't even seen the first one. So, he was in the I'm trying to think of like ones that you might know. Muppets Most Wanted one, which wasn't as good as the first Muppets one they did in that franchise, in that series, unfortunately. But Ray Liotta played a good gangster. Uh, so and he had the look for it and everything else. And he was just a
Oh,
fantastic actor,
jeez.
dude.
So
What's that?
aside from Hubie Halloween, the last movie I saw with him was Wild Hogs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
He
jeez.
also played in SpongeBob as the bubble poppin' guy,
Mm-hmm.
the gang that pops bubbles. Yeah.
Oh, I did see him on Kimmy Schmidt and Young Sheldon, though. But yeah, his movies.
Yeah. It was
It's
always funny to see him show up in comedy films because he's so well known for being like that tough like gangster. I mean, everyone, like I said, remembers him from frickin' Goodfellas. And you kind of go from that to, you know, the comedy stuff and you're just like I just don't it's sort of jarring but also funnier at the same time just by putting him in there. Um I think he did a bunch of different Muppets films actually. I can't find the one that he did with the it was either wasn't Paul Blart Mall Cop. What was it? No, not Cop Out. Whatever the frickin' movie was. I remember him in it, damn it. But funny story about Ray Liotta. I actually came across a bunch of my old papers and stuff from college, and one of the films that we pitched to our producing class, I believe it was, uh, we actually have in there Ray Liotta as the cast as the like the main character, and like I found the posters and stuff of it and everything. I don't remember if it's in this file right next to me, so I'm not gonna try and pull those out because I don't know what's in those files. I don't want it on camera. So, yeah, there it was awesome. Maybe I'll post a picture of it in our group or something later this week, or on the actual Instagram or something like that of the poster that was made with Ray Liotta. It was a film that we decided we were going to shoot in like a hardware store. So we like went to Home Depot and got like connections with the Home Depot managers there, and they gave us a bunch of free shit and stuff. This was all just a pitch, a fake movie, by the way, but we had to like do it all legit. It was awesome. And then the producers or the teachers in class were like, "So did you contact the manager, like his manager, to see if you did?" I'm like, "One, actually, I did. Like, I reached out to the the managers that worked with him at that time, and they were surprised that I actually called them because they were like, "You weren't supposed to do that." I was like, "So, or do I pass? Like, what do I get? Like, come on." Don't give me that bullshit. Anyways, yeah, that's my Ray Liotta story. I never actually met the man, but I do have a connection with him because, like, I literally wanted to cast him in a project. You know, it was cool. I forget the other actor that we had cast a Jason from him. So, but yeah, so that was awesome. For a fake project that never happened. And another one I do want to shout out though, that we did lose was another big person in my life anyways. Bob Saget passed away this year, guys. As we all know, Bob Saget, that was unexpected and, very sad.
Oh my god, that was this year.
Yeah,
That
I
feels
had
like
the,
so long ago.
yeah, it was
Oh.
it's at right at the beginning of the year. Yep.
The
Yep.
ninth.
So that, you know, Bob Saget, of course, most people know him from Full House. Other people know him from America's Funniest Videos, and then other people know him from his truly raunchy comedy, 100% away from his Full House and America's Funniest Videos characters that he played. Where he would just talk about, you know, drugs and sex and nothing else. And it was always fun. And I remember on MySpace. Whoa. Do people remember MySpace out there? Probably not.
You
If
just
you're young.
dated yourself.
I know. I remember on MySpace, though, I had, when you would go to my page, this was awesome, cool, guys, about MySpace versus Facebook and shit. You could go to our pages. We could have like top 8s and top 10s of like our favorite people there, you know? We got to have our own hierarchy on MySpace. But
You could
then
watch all your friends fight over.
stupid shit, you could do whatever the hell you wanted. You could create your own backgrounds and everything and put your own theme music on. So when you would go to my page, the first song that would play would be a Bob Saget song that he did with I think it was Jamie Kennedy. Yeah. It was awesome. Anyways, that's my Bob Saget story. Do you have any other notable ones that you want to shout out, dude, before we continue moving on? I don't want to bring everyone
It's
down with so
just
many deaths. There's so
too
many.
much. Yeah,
There's
too
so
many.
many.
Too many to name. But
I was gonna say Betty White but she was like at the very end of last year. But I do want to, you know, rest in peace, Betty White. You were my final golden girl. But yeah, so any other ones in 2022 that you want to note?
there's just too many. it's it's sad, but you know.
Yeah.
Eh,
Leslie Jordan also uh, died, and uh, he was such a great comedian, great comic actor. I want to say him for sure. And for us too, for me and you doing the Munsters show, he also played the doctor in the George Lopez Munsters skit.
mhm.
So for people who don't know who Jordan or Leslie Jordan, sorry, is, great actor, great all around comedian. I think he did a lot of stuff in Will and Grace. I didn't watch that show like religiously, but I do remember watching clips and stuff in there. So,
Yeah.
um, other than that, is there anybody else out there? I know like Aaron Carter recently passed away.
Yeah, he did.
And jeez, there's so many deaths. It's hard to keep up with everybody, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
So
there yeah, it's sad. You don't want to skip anyone, but we just wanted to point out some of the ones that were,
yeah.
important to our lives.
Didn't Gallagher pass away this year?
Yes, he did. Like the same day as JDF, I believe.
Dang, that's crazy. All right. Um. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so how we
uh,
get off
I
the
speaking of deaths,
macabre
guys,
topics.
we are going to talk about a movie right now. And that
Yeah.
movie is.
And if
Oh, go on.
I'm sorry if we're giving you guys whiplash. These are just,
Yeah.
we see all these award ceremonies and stuff with people where they honor. We feel like they ignore so many of the very talented and important people. So we wanted to give our time as
Yeah.
well. So
Especially in the comic world, they ignore a lot of those.
oh yeah.
And dude, why did I forget? I almost forgot. Nichelle Nichols passed away this year.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and for Star Trek fans, Uhura, however you want to pronounce it. She did so much, for women, for black women especially. I mean, her and freaking what's his real name? Because I'm just gonna say Captain Kirk. Her and Captain
William
Kirk,
Shatner.
William Shatner. Thank you. Her and Captain Kirk. The first interracial kiss ever on TV. Broke a lot of barriers and stuff, and I'm glad that she did that with him, and I'm glad too that William Shatner pushed for it because they were about to just not do it, and he's like, no, fuck it, we're gonna do it. Like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they both had that moment and broke some boundaries and stuff like that, needed to be broken, especially at that time. So there's also, oh, we almost forgot. Dude, there's so many. Holy shit. Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, that's why.
Gilbert Godfrey passed away. I know he won't get mentioned at the Oscars. Taylor Hawkins passed away, who was a drummer. People will know him. Scott Hall
Yeah. Oh,
passed away.
yeah.
Razor Ramon. And then for MCU fans out there alike, and he played in many other roles, but that was his biggest one recently. William Hurt passed away as well.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna stop because there's a lot more we could keep going on to, but
Yeah.
those are some of them. Just go and look them up, guys, and pay your respects. And yeah, so.
We're going to get
that,
into
though,
our regular show now.
Gonna get into our regular show, but it's also moving into our regular show, which we're going to watch. We watched a film that paid respect to a lost celebrity, within the story and everything like that. So if you have not watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever and want to, please go watch that before you continue listening to us. So we're going to talk about that. We'll probably do some spoilers and stuff like that as well. So spoiler warning right now for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And thank you guys. All right, let's talk about this film, dude.
So yeah, right off the bat, fucking emotional tribute to
With the cold open, fuck
Chadwick.
yeah.
Oh my god, they replaced the footage with just stuff of him
Yeah, yeah.
and,
The
and
logo and
remove the
everything.
music and yeah, oh,
Yeah.
like that immediate. It was like, oh,
It really set the tone for the film, but it also really like to me the beginning of this film was the most like not heartwarming,
heart
most
wrenching.
emotional part of the film. Like every other thing in the film is okay, but this part right here before the Marvel logo rolls, I was like, this is the movie. This is it. Like,
Yeah, you
boom.
got Shuri trying to recreate the flower to give regenerative abilities back to
T'Challa.
T'Challa because he is dying of a unknown illness that they refuse to name.
Yeah.
Which
They don't
I
know what
kind
it is.
yeah, well,
In the
they either don't know or don't want to tell.
yeah.
Um,
In the movie I just felt like they just didn't know. So,
well, maybe. I
yeah.
Look, I was saying for quite a while that they should have recast him, and I'm kind of
Mhm.
glad they didn't now because this is a story that we didn't get with Marvel, which is for all of their powers and technology and stuff, there's some things you just can't stop. And that
Right.
was a powerful thing in the comics when he passed away from cancer. And so obviously they don't want to be insensitive for what happened with Chadwick and make it cancer again for this just
Right.
because to mirror that, but it is a story that
Just
was very
freaking
impactful
crazy.
for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that they chose to kind of touch on it with his passing and probably with the family's
Mhm.
blessing as well, because I can't imagine you would do this without
Right.
consulting them. That would be as heartless
Crazy.
as Disney is. I don't think they would
I don't think Ryan
do
Coogler would have
that.
done it without family
No.
permission because it seemed like they were all very close and stuff.
Hmm. Oh, oh,
Regardless of what arguments went on social media during the time, but it felt like they were really a close knit family, especially like um, Chadwick and I forget the girl's name who plays Shuri. Like I just it doesn't come to mind. And then the guy who
let
plays
Letita, right?
Letitia, yeah, Letitia
Letitia.
Wright,
I should not
and
be saying these names. You know that.
and the guy who plays uh shit, now I'm forgetting the characters' names, and I always say
Who
this
is
in
it?
his name, Mbaku. There we go, Mbaku.
Oh, Winston.
Winston, yeah, yeah. So those three like all seemed like they were pretty tight knit, anyways. At least in interviews, but most people seem like they're tight knit in interviews, unless of course you're out there with Captain Marvel. Sorry. Yeah, no, this the intro of this is freaking fantastic. It's heartwarming, it's emotional, and it really shows the the depth that the character
Mhm.
is. Like, not the depth of the characters, the depth that how much this character means to so many people
Yeah.
in the universe and then outside of the movie in our normal day to day, and to be able to see that on screen and to feel it and to feel the emotion in the film, like you're crying 3 minutes into this, not even 3 minutes, a minute
No.
into this movie, dude. And
They hit you hard.
there's not many films that could do, like, I mean, maybe Guardians of the Galaxy when he loses his mom at the very beginning, maybe that is probably comparable to this. But
Yeah.
the fact that you have the meta response of he's really fucking dead, like in real life Chadwick has passed away, it's like, holy shit, like it hits home even more. And that's one of my things with this film is we have the realistic feelings and emotions from these actors of the Chadwick the actor actually passing away being brought in as to the character that passed away. And I think that makes it more powerful for their performance. But at the same time, I'm kind of wondering, I want to watch it again. I've only seen it once, opening weekend. I want to go back and watch it again. This time, I want to try and watch it in a clear state of mind without thinking about Chadwick, too, and see if it hits home as hard. Because that will tell you whether the film did its job for those who don't care about, you know, the actor, or didn't know the true life stuff or anything like that, because
Yeah.
not everyone watching this in like 10 years is
Well,
going to remember.
yeah.
Not everybody anyways. A lot of people still will, but not everybody will. And that will tell, as far as the movie making part is what I'm talking about there.
Right off the bat, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there. I thought it was just okay. Like, I thought it was
Okay.
on par with the first movie. Overall, obviously, there's scenes in
Okay.
it that I thought were fucking phenomenal, like this opening and
Yeah.
some stuff later on. And I love the what they did with Shuri in this was so awesome, and like the emotional ride that she goes on is insane.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
M'Baku, I love that character. I love how much, like, I don't know a whole lot from the comics, so I could be wrong about this, but from what I do know, he is a rival of, you know, the Black Panther,
Mhm.
and he is less uh he's more for himself, and
Yeah.
this version is more for the
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and
And he's more
that's awesome.
comical in this. In the comics and stuff, he's usually a really serious,
Yes.
brutal,
Well,
you know,
I mean,
beast.
comedy aside, you know, like like the scenes we get with him and Shuri, you know, after she loses her mother again in this damn movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you know, the emotion that Winston puts in the character is just amazing. And
Yeah.
it actually makes me want to go and learn more about the comic character itself. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I think they've done a fantastic job with that character. I just wanted to put that out there because I don't know if we're gonna get back to him, but
Yeah, no, I agree. M'Baku's character, especially in this film, like I think even in the first film, they did a really good job of making
yes,
him see that he cares
yes,
more than, you know, his comic counterpart for sure.
mhm,
Um, and the fact that he is willing to stick by the people and help the people rather than just dip off and, you know, go away. Like he even did that in the first movie by bringing his people to the battle to fight
yeah.
Killmonger's crew of people and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. The character M'Baku is gonna be the, come on now, come on, he's gonna be the main. Yeah, he's not gonna be the Black Panther, but he's going to be
I
a big ruler.
yeah, I am curious to see where I don't want to where to go from here because I don't want to skip over so much, but there's also so much I want to talk about. Why
Well,
don't
let's
you
talk
lead this
about.
discussion?
All right, so we get the emotional stuff, of course, yes, and then we skip a year away from Chadwick's, or from T'Challa's passing. Uh, in this movie, we skip one whole year. Notably, though, they do show us send T'Challa's body to space. I think I don't know where they're sending his body.
I don't know
Honestly,
what they do. They take him into the ship and then go
that's it.
somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know if they have a specific burial ground or if they just drop him in the ocean or what. Um So that's interesting to note. Wonder if that comes back into play ever. And then we have a year jump, and we're trying to figure all this stuff out. Like, you know, we get the
She's
what am I
cast
trying to say?
aside her
No, I'm trying to say, like, for the Atlanteans, even though they don't call them Atlanteans in this. Shit. What do they call them in this movie?
Oh, I don't know if they have
I don't remember. But Namor's crew, or Namor's crew, Namor, which they start attacking, and of course they have vibranium. You know, the government thinks that's fucking Wakanda. Blah blah blah. It sets it up basically, kind of like how, you know, you would set up a movie. And I'm glad that they.
Oh,
It's hard to
boy.
say.
I'm gonna put it in chat and then you can say it.
Okay.
There you go.
The Talacanil. There we go. The Talacanil. Is the people, the blue people in this film. The underwater people.
They're only blue on the surface.
Yeah, they're only blue
which
on
is
the surface.
different.
Yeah, I wonder why. And then,
probably to make them more human, relatable.
I guess so. They really went away from Namor's comic history, I will say.
I fucking hate Namor in the comics. He is such a fucking pretentious piece of shit.
I think he kind of is here, but also not
a little
at the same
bit,
time. But they really went away from his origins and everything in this one. But I think it works with this story. I don't really
they did
care.
Include one bit of him.
What's that?
He's a mutant. We get the actual word for the first time, not just hinted at.
Yeah. Well, they said mutant in Miss Marvel.
No, they said you have a genetic alteration, some kind of
mutation.
Yeah.
They said
I don't think they said mutation, but another word that means the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And then the X-Men music played.
But yeah, no, dude, the government's trying to steal fucking vibranium.
Yeah, the French.
The French. And they set them up, and they get them. They're soldiers.
Yeah, they set a trap for them, and they're in the United Nations, and she's just like, there was an attempt on our facilities. The French ambassador's just like, oh, really? That's
prove it.
So terrible. And she's like, oh, yeah, you're the one who did it. I don't think you can prove that. Bring them out. They bring out all the soldiers they captured. Yeah. That was such a good scene.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Don't fuck with them.
Like, why would they think that they could do that? Like, honestly, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Especially with just a random SWAT team of people. Like, come on now.
SWAT
like,
team. They were the military, but
military. Yeah, no. Like, just they sucked. Is this why the French don't go to war?
Oh, not gonna touch that one. Yeah.
Oh shit.
It was. It's interesting that they were the first ones to make a move, and we get what's her. Oh my god.
The Queen.
No, from Seinfeld.
Oh, Elaine. Yeah. So
what is her character's name?
Miss Hydra.
Yeah, Lady Hydra.
Lady Hydra. That's who she is in the comics. They just haven't called her that because I don't think Hydra exists anymore. I'm not sure.
No one's sure.
But she's like the one that's trying to, basically screw everybody up in this movie. I don't know where this really talk about this because it's a basic ass Marvel movie, but with emotion, you know. And
there's some parts that, like, the fact that she's in this. What is her name? Valentina.
Yeah.
like the ramifications. We're gonna skip all around. We're not going through this in order. The ramifications of her pushing, because even she's like, oh man, if we could control all that vibranium, oh, I
Mhm.
dream of that. Uh, like she is not against. Like she wants to destabilize the Wakanda economy, the
Yeah.
screw the country over because, like she's trying to start a fight between the two countries, and I wonder, is this going to be the Thunderbolts thing? Because it is left unresolved. The American government is getting increasingly hostile towards them,
Mhm.
led by Valentina. Go figure.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, since we know she's basically the one putting the Thunderbolts together, because U.S. agents on there, and so is the new Black Widow.
Mhm.
Um, could this be the story we see unfold in that?
Potentially. Yeah. Is that going to be a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Okay. Yeah, so I could definitely see that potentially happening. We'll see what they do in some shows beforehand.
Mhm.
Because Quantum Mania is not going to touch any of that shit
No,
when it
no, we're
comes out.
finally getting into the Kang stuff, which I cannot wait
Yeah.
for. Like, it's been fun seeing all these characters, these one-off stories, but like after this one, I am at the same point as a lot of people. I'm ready for the big, let's get to the Avengers type setup.
Yeah. I really find. Okay, so this movie is all about trauma and grief. Can we
Oh
agree
God,
about
yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
And most of the films in this phase have been about trauma and grief,
Yeah.
loss,
I actually
everything.
I talked about that with Ryan Dose on Across
Okay.
the Bifrost. Um
So so my question is, what the fuck, Marvel? Like, we just went through a pandemic. Why are you doing this to everybody? Like, haven't we had enough trauma and grief already? Like, can we please not
yeah,
anymore?
that's one of the quotes from it wasn't Feige, it was one of the other executive producers. I can't remember his name right now, but
Okay.
he said this is basically we're seeing the world kind of healing and dealing with what happened with Infinity War and Endgame. Since we skipped a lot of the middle part of the people being gone for 5 years, we're seeing
Yeah.
all of the fallout from that now in these movies.
But they don't even
um
mention that stuff half the time.
no, they don't, but it's basically, the world's hurt is what
Hmm.
we're supposed to be kind of feeling. um and we kind of get that a little bit with
The
I
world's hurt. I don't understand. I don't get that though, because all these movies, it's the characters that are getting screwed over.
oh yeah, but they're saying that it's supposed to be a
A
what's
representation
the
of it.
representation of like everyone in the world right now is suffering for one reason or another.
Yeah.
uh, and we kind of get a little bit of the I'm refuse to call it the blip, the snap. uh
It's a
with
snappy blip.
I can't remember her name, but the spy that the queen goes and collects, that turns out to be a romantic interest of T'Challa, that she disappeared
Oh
after
yeah.
he vanished in Infinity War.
Yeah.
uh
Not Riri. That's Riri Williams. You're talking about oh, what's her freaking name in this movie?
I don't
Nakia.
know. Nakia, okay.
Or no, Okoye. Is it Nakia? Yeah, Nakia.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so we get a little bit of that touched on, which is interesting. I didn't
Hmm.
expect anything in this movie to touch on any of that,
Yeah.
especially since we're mostly dealing with the fallout of T'Challa being gone.
Right.
And let's get into the Shuri story, because, like I said earlier, the roller coaster that they put this character on, like she goes through
Mhm.
the ringer in this.
Yeah.
She throws away their ancestral beliefs because, you know, what good is that? That the science is what could have saved her
Oh,
brother.
I love this is because it's like religion versus science, and you just
Mhm.
sometimes you just need to you can use both together.
Yeah,
You
find
know,
a balance.
yeah, and it was freaking awesome to see that Disney of all companies actually dealt with that. um and yeah, it was freaking awesome because you have to find the perfect balance between your technology and where your spirituality, what you believe, what's your belief system and stuff like
Mhm.
that within this film. And you know, her not believing really in the ancestral plane and stuff like that leads her to not get to go and see it, you know.
Well, not right away, at least.
No, she doesn't go to the ancestral plane at all.
She does. In the
When?
final confrontation, she sees her mom on the ancestral plane.
Oh yes, yes, her mom. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that part.
And also, I mean, she
Mainly because it was her
technically
mom.
was there with when she
Because
yeah.
I was really wondering if they were going to do the ancestral plane at all, and if they were going to try and put like Chadwick in there.
I was just remembering of yeah, I thought like I understand they're trying to be respectful and stuff, but I honestly would have been okay with like a shot from afar or you just see like someone's foot. It's kind of represent like he's there, he's watching you
Or
type
have
thing.
him like in the background, you know, or in Panther form, because remember they were in Panther form in the first movie before they turned into their human form, weren't
Oh
they?
yeah, that's true. When he saw his dad, I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
So
That
they
would have
could have
been
had him.
awesome.
They could have had him in Panther form with something on him
Mhm.
that represents that it's T'Challa.
Yeah, I for me, I know everyone's gonna feel differently about this. To
Yeah,
me, I feel like that's a missed opportunity. If you feel differently, that's perfect. You know, except there's no right or wrong way to do this.
because
You know, when dealing with real world
yeah,
ramifications.
and the nice thing too about that would also be to show that one, T'Challa made it to that, you
Mhm.
know, plane, but also it would represent that Chadwick is in a better place now at
Yeah,
the same time, you know.
like
And I think yeah, I can agree with that. Would it have helped the story or anything? No. But would it have
no,
affected it? No. Could just had him in
it's
the
just been
background
another
or something.
emotional type thing for
Yeah.
us, the
And you
viewer.
could have made it so that the reason that she doesn't actually have contact with him, so we don't have like a CG Chadwick, you know,
Mhm.
some weird shit going on.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that definitely should that never should have been on the
yeah,
table. Yeah.
no, never. But like
Uh,
the reason you can say that is because she still hasn't gotten to that point to pass on the grief yet.
burning of the funeral garb.
Right, right. And I think that would work the best. Um I don't understand why her mom is there though. She wasn't a Black Panther.
It's the ancestral. Like I said, I think she was also there when
I
she
think the Black
first
Panthers go to a
arrives there. It's just it manifests itself differently.
yeah. I think the Black Panthers go to a specific plane of existence when they
No, because
die.
in Moon Knight, it's established that that is their afterlife.
But that's just Moon Knights.
Yeah, they mention that the Wakandan afterlife, though.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see those worlds collide. Since we have like the Wakandan one, we have the one from Moon Knight, we
It's
have
getting very D&D
Val
like here
is
with
it
all the different planes of existence.
is it
Valhalla.
Valhalla?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that. So all these people are existing still in their like afterlives.
Mhm.
Like, you know, that it would be really cool to see that or some type of crossover. I know in Thor's lore that there is a way out of Valhalla back.
Mhm.
But I don't know what the ramifications of that would be, especially in the MCU. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting if that ever happens. I don't know if they will do it because it's kind of I don't know. They've done a very good job of avoiding the what's the word I'm looking for? The cop outs that the comics
Yeah.
go with constantly.
Yeah.
Um,
But it would be
and
interesting to see. And then if people
yeah,
were like, well, what about Tony? And you can just be like, well,
I mean,
heaven.
if we
You
are
know, you
about to
can't leave.
have a battle with Kang in the Kang army
Yeah.
coming up, what better than releasing all of the Asgardians? But we'll see.
Yeah. Well, not all the Asgardians would even be in Valhalla. They have to die of a noble death in battle.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to the Shuri stuff though,
Yeah.
the whole, she's throwing away her ancestral life or ancestral life traditions,
Yeah.
and
Their belief
you
system,
know,
basically.
then she meets Namor and she sees like, oh, these people, they're just trying to live like us, and Namor gives her, I'm not calling him Namor. Namor gives, he
His name is
saw,
Namor.
it's Namor.
Like no love. It's
Fuck him.
Spanish, bro.
Fuck the fish man. So he talks about how he also, saw pain and suffering when he went to go bury his mom. And so that kind of, at a very young age, and that kind of left an imprint on him. So where he has a dislike of surface dwellers and stuff. And he's like, he kind of sees a little bit of a kinship with her, with their disillusions with, life and stuff, I guess. Disenfranchised, I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but you know what I mean.
Like their disconnect.
Yeah. Where it's like, man, the rest of the world sucks.
Yeah, I understand it because it's kind of how like some places look at, say, the States versus other areas. It's I blame them for this in my life, or like, people here
And a lot
blame
of
other people
times
for
they're
things
not
in their
wrong.
life.
Because we like to fuck with other nations illegally. Government.
Every nation likes to.
I know. It's stupid.
But it's just, even on a smaller level, it's like, you have revolts and stuff like that of people just because they feel that they were wronged by this specific group of people, when only like a tiny little pepper canister of those people are actually responsible for any of it.
Yeah.
Or and in the Moore's case, it's like he's blaming the entire world for something that happened hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, he's like, people, he shut himself and his people away, so he hasn't seen, there are other kinds of people out there. He just has that one interaction when he was younger, and then as he gets old, we've heard, him dealing with people who have gone with ill intent to seek him out and stuff. And
which it does prove, though, too, and it's something to think about, because those things that happened to him that were bad as a kid, they stick with you. And because he was like a really powerful kid too, he didn't have anyone telling him, no, this is how things should work, like this.
And because
he was aged, just running, he aged forever, but he still kept his child emotions, his child thoughts, his, and not saying like what he thought was childish, but like his the inner child of him was holding on to this pain and to this anguish and all that stuff. And I think that's what causes him to be how he was. And I think that's actually pretty cool and pretty deep. And I'm probably making it deeper than what the movie wanted it to be, but still.
Sometimes we can see more than the actual creators themselves.
Or we can say, see Namor.
But I think his connection with Shuri, he may have been reading her wrong, because she was angry at the outside world for trying to take advantage of her brother's passing and lack of a Black Panther protector of the country.
Right.
But she didn't hate them.
No.
Yeah. she was more angry at herself than anything. And
Yeah.
we saw that come to a head when she finally she uses Namor. They have their own version of the vibranium influenced plant that turns them into water people, fish people, and some of it is infused in the bracelet that he gives her, and she uses that to recreate the flower. That's actually pretty clever.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm curious what all alterations are different now that she has a hybrid flower, but again, that's down the road if they
Clearly
want
she
to.
became like a Power Ranger and knew how to fight instantly as soon as she was in the suit.
Oh, I have stuff to say about that fight. So yeah, when she takes that flower and she first goes to that plane, we don't see the tree and the safari type landscape that we saw with T'Challa and that we see later in the movie. You get the place where her mom passed and Killmonger.
Yeah.
Which, what a clever way to bring that guy back, because it definitely goes with all of her hatred and emotions and stuff.
And it can also put to bed people who think that Killmonger was still alive.
His neck got snapped. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. People were out there being like, well, we never actually saw him die, so maybe he could
his
still
body falls lifeless to the ground. He's dead.
But yeah, he's dead. He's in the, I don't even know. I guess it's the ancestral plane. It is
the plane, but it's like a different
part
domain. I guess I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, she goes back to the place of her mom's death, and when she starts like, this is all your fault for letting my brother die by burning all those plants, and the room starts catching on fire, and you just see the rage flowing out of her. Like it was a fucking Star Wars movie or something.
Dude, I would love to see Killmonger come back from like another area, like not that Killmonger, but
like one of the What If characters.
Yeah, like a What If with Michael B. Jordan, but instead of him, because in like What If he was still an asshole, but him actually being a good character, like a decent person. I won't say good because there is no
like
good.
Maybe a Human Torch,
Oh God, no.
We'll see what's gonna happen.
They would be crazy to waste like an actor like Michael B. Jordan and not let him do more in the universe.
I don't think they expected people to make a connection that they did. Because I mean, he's not wrong in this scene either. He's like, Wakanda wasn't doing anything for the world until I became Black Panther.
Yeah.
And it's kind of true. If it wasn't for him, they would have started their outreach programs, their schools, their working with the United Nations.
Well, yeah, because he showed T'Challa, like, look, this is like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you guys,
we're not.
You
we're
abandoned
not helping.
me. You abandoned me. You abandoned our people. Like, when he says their people, he meant like African culture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People from African descent. Because Wakanda's in Africa, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
And up until that point, people thought it was a third world country because they hid their actual city from them.
Yeah.
And then it became known, like, hey, so we're actually more advanced than all of you.
Yeah.
Here's what we can do to help you.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those things where it's, unfortunately in life, bad people do shit, which make better people realize, oh, we probably should do this instead, or open up to all these things. And we have it in society today, like where stupid shit happens, and we're learning and we're trying to be better in ways. There are lots of people who don't want to better themselves or want to fight back and stuff, but there are lots of things that are changing in society today because bad people showed us what was, and when I say bad, I don't mean like pure evil people. I just mean people that did stupid shit,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
there's a
gotcha.
lot of stupidity in the world, and no one specifically, just in general. And
And I'll be curious with this whole, because we saw that outreach. They basically said, Wakanda has not fulfilled their promises. That means T'Challa was basically the only one doing this outreach to the world, because then he disappeared for 5 years. Then he came
but
down with this illness. And
yeah, I was
so
gonna
I'm
say the
wondering,
5-year gap should matter
yeah,
because you have a king to help with that. The whole world is going crazy. Why the hell would we share our resources when you have nothing to give us?
yeah,
Honestly, that's just generally how the world works. We don't share with you if you don't have anything to share with us.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know how T'Challa set it up originally, but yeah.
But
And
you could
we
see
did
that
see
he
at the
was
end.
the person who was spearheading that program, though.
Yeah. Well, we
And
did see at the end of the first movie, he turned the apartment where his uncle got killed
into a school,
into the school or Wakanda outreach facility or whatever it was
one of the
considered.
many that they built.
Yeah.
Because we see
So,
another one when the queen goes to collect their old spy. That was another Wakandan
right.
school in
Yeah.
where
I-
was that?
In Haiti. It was in
Haiti.
Haiti. Yeah. Which was awesome to see them show Haiti in a better light, because usually when you see Haiti, and I think maybe like Mark Bernardin said this too, and I was like, yeah, that's true. Like usually when you see Haiti, it's usually in like a low, like, oh my god, these people are so poor, they need your
Yeah.
help, feed the children, and all the sad music and shit. And it's like, no, like that's not Haiti all. Like, yeah, some parts and some things and some people, but otherwise it's still a country.
Hmm.
So it was nice to see it in a light for once in media in some sort of
Oh
fashion.
yeah. Uh,
Especially because where I'm at right here, where I live, there's a lot of Haitian people here, so I talk to them all the time, and I'm like, it sounds awesome. I want to go there for vacation. So
oh yeah, it looked good.
yeah.
But all of that came from Killmonger, and he's
Mhm.
explaining that to he's like kind of like, I know you're angry. Like, come on, continue my plan. To
Yeah.
use your anger and hurt and put it back out into the world instead of processing it like you should. Which is basically what Namor is doing as well. And
Yeah.
we don't see the resolution of that at first. She just comes back and she's like, you can tell she's cagey as fuck. She's not telling him that she even spoke to anyone,
Yeah.
because she's kind of ashamed that that is her, relative that apparently she connected to the most at that moment.
Right.
Because with T'Challa, he was his dad.
Hmm.
He was trying to be the king, that they all needed.
Right.
And so, and that's why I think we see her, she sees her mom later, is because she needed to see her.
Mhm.
And she
Yeah.
also got the crap beat out of her. So,
Right.
uh, it, I love, and from that she goes, and you see not only T'Challa's helmet but his dad's, and I'm like, that is so cool that they would include his as well. It's not just her brother that she's
Yeah.
inheriting this from; it's both of them.
Wasn't Killmonger's helmet there though?
No, it was
No,
just the
that
two.
was just the two. Okay.
Yeah, no, they ain't gonna
All right.
keep Killmonger's, no. Even though it was a spare T'Challa outfit he stole.
Right. I was gonna say it's just the golden version of his
And
suit,
I think
but
that's why we see the gold when she finally comes out with her suit. It's the gold. And
yeah.
that comes, we'll get to the final fight with, I want to talk about Ironheart now.
Okay. Riri Williams,
This whole
everybody.
movie, I was so excited when we saw the drawings of the arc reactor. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to get a suit up. You always love the suit up scenes with Iron
Yeah.
Man. And I'm like, and it doesn't happen.
Nope. And
We
they gave her
better get a
this.
suit up.
Oop,
Oop. Jumping ahead there. We
my
better get a
button hit.
suit up in the fucking next thing she's in, because why would you not do that?
Right. Well, I love that they did. So in this, we get Riri Williams, Ironheart. Everybody knows her. She essentially makes her own Iron Man suit.
Yeah, we get dual things going on where one's working on biology and the other one's working on mechanics.
Yeah, and the fun thing with Riri, anyways, in the comics, is like Tony Stark works with her through AI. Like he's an AI presence, basically, hologram, stuff like that. I wonder if they do that in the show for her, because that would be the only way I would want RDJ to come back in any fashion, is
Maybe
if they did him that way.
Wakanda seems to still be pretty close with the remnants of the Avengers team, whatever that response they're calling it now. So maybe Shuri knows Happy.
Maybe. You would think, though, if they're close to them, why wouldn't you call some Avengers in to help you? Like maybe a Hulk?
I mean, it's the same thing with all of these solo films. You just gotta ignore it.
I know. Well, they were also like under restrictions too, because the government thought that Wakanda was the ones that were doing the attacks.
Yeah. But
so they really didn't want to get other people involved if there were issues there, and then the Avengers would be brought into it. So
well, the Avengers don't exist right now. I mean, who is active? We just have the new Flying Hawk, Captain America, Flying Hawk. I combined him and Hawkeye, because like Hawkeye's retired.
Captain America, and Ant-Man, because in the trailer, Ant-Man's like, I'm an Avenger.
But he's kind of a goofball. Would you really count on him?
Yes, you still have to count him.
No,
Thor,
I said count on him, not count him.
Well, Thor's still on Earth in New Asgard.
Yeah,
at the end of that movie.
Well, no, he's flying around with his new adopted daughter.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Hulk, but
Hulk.
We don't know if this took place during the that period where he was in space or not.
Yeah. Well, he's also living on a secluded island, so who knows?
Hawkeye and the one
Hawkeye's
chick,
retired though.
but the girl's there.
We don't know.
But she's not an Avenger.
No, she's not really publicly known either yet.
You have Bucky.
Yeah, I mean, he did stay in Wakanda, so
I don't know why they didn't call Bucky.
It would make sense.
That would have totally made sense. Just to get Bucky in there, because he's a Wakandan. They helped him.
Yeah,
so
he was a resident
us.
For a while. The White Wolf.
Yeah. Which we'll talk about him later too in this episode.
Yes, we will. Oh boy.
Riri Williams is awesome in the comics.
I wasn't a fan of the
figures.
Armor design. It reminded me a bit of Metroid Prime, if you've ever seen that character.
I didn't like the suit that they gave her in this. So I'm glad that they were like, yeah, you have to leave that suit here.
Yeah, we're keeping that.
You can't take that. So that means
she has to build her own.
She has to build her own.
I'm excited.
So I'm very excited to see what we get from that.
With the Iron Wars movie instead of TV show, which I'm still pissed about. I wanted a show. Yeah.
But she gets her own show first.
Does she?
I believe.
I thought she was next in Iron Wars. Ooh, okay. I'm excited.
I think we have an Ironheart show. You might want to double check that, but I believe there's an Ironheart show coming. So that's where I'm like, let's bring in RDJ just for 2 days worth of shooting. All he has to do is stand in somewhere and do a hologram or whatever, or voiceover, whatever. Be Jarvis, dude. Whatever you gotta do with your stupid.
Which they had their own Jarvis in this, and that was cool.
Yeah, it seemed like they were just ripping off Tony at that point, because we didn't have that in the first one. I'm like, y'all are supposed to be advanced, either that or she kind of stole part of Jarvis's mind when she was working on Vision.
I don't know. I mean, I think she just liked the idea of having a AI helper. Because even her mom's like, these things are going to kill us one day. You know that, right?
Which, bro, what if she ends up creating her own Ultron?
Bringing back Ultron
Oh,
on
geez.
accident. If they did steal a part of Vision, it's possible.
Yeah, yeah, definitely possible. Um, yeah. So in this one though, like Riri
Yep.
was kind of just a waste of time.
She's got her own
Honestly,
show.
is she?
Currently scheduled late 23. So in another year, we'll be watching that.
Okay. About Christmas or no Thanksgiving time next year. Um.
It's that and Agatha that are. So we'll probably be watching that around maybe September,
Okay.
is my guess.
Right.
And then Agatha will be December.
It was Agatha all along. Um. There you go, guys. That's my singing abilities. That's it. Nothing else. Yeah, no, I didn't really care for Riri's character in this, honestly. I just felt like it was just a waste of time. You could have cut it out and still had the same story and everything. The only reason you needed Riri was because she supposedly designed the machine
Yeah,
that was able to
they laid the
harvest.
groundwork that she is incredibly intelligent.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they set it up so they don't have to do so
Excuse
much
me.
work in the show, so
She-
they can have a shorter
she-
show.
She really is basically the second coming of Tony Stark, which I mean, we basically
Yeah.
got the same scene with her prototype Iron Man. Because, oh,
Yeah,
dude, when the CIA busted, she's got an Iron Man.
they freaked
Then she
out.
goes up
Yeah.
in the air and like passes out, similar to how Tony got his
Yeah.
armor frozen. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, this is so awesome! I missed this.
The face on that mask was so stupid, though.
It was. I'm just glad we have
It
another
reminded me
Iron
of,
Man type character.
what was that one from the Spider-Man cartoon, the spider robot thing? It reminded me of that.
Oh god, yeah, the Spider Hunters.
No, the spider robot from the Spider-Verse movie.
Oh, I don't remember.
The like of Ultron or not Ultron, Voltron type Spider-Man suit thing that chick had. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah, I got you now. That yeah.
You know, like the little kids Toby watches with the face on them. Shit. Anyways. Yeah, no, I for Ironheart in this, like, you know, I guess setting the groundwork is good for the character since we're going to have a show that want to do the work.
If you're
for
going to
it,
have a
so.
smart character be important in the future and you
Yeah.
need someone who designed a machine in this, why not just make them one and the same?
Yeah. So I can understand that part, but as much as she was in it, I was like, it's kind of you kind of wasted her because she's there, but she's not really contributing a whole lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
After you have her safe and stuff, just keep her safe. She did not need to go to battle. You're putting her in the place where
That
you
was
didn't
such
want
a
her.
dumb idea. Let's go to the ocean in a boat.
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's like you're taking the one character that you decided you're not going to let die to protect everyone, and you're putting her in battle. Like,
well, I guess it
what?
didn't matter at that point because she's not a target. Everyone's a target. He declared war on, everyone.
Yeah. Well, they also like busted in and killed one of their people in their lair.
Yeah. So. Oh my god, that was such a. It's like
Set
you could even see Shuri's like
stun people.
No, it's the Queen's fault. She said any means.
Yeah.
But
Tisk.
The final battle between Shuri, the new Black Panther, and Namor.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting, but can I say, as a person who doesn't care about noticing CGI issues, I noticed the CGI, which is not good.
I mean, it wasn't as bad as the first movie, final scene.
Really?
Where it looked like PlayStation 2 graphics, yeah.
It looked like I was watching one of the cartoons there for a bit with the faraway shots.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Disney Disney, whatever, for some reason they just don't render out Black Panther's final fight scenes, apparently.
Well, that and they crunch these fucking people to the point where they're working to the last minute. Stop crunching these people, give them enough time and resources.
Real quick before we dive the rest of the way through that, the Queen got pissed off that her daughter got captured or taken or whatnot, and she basically demoted Okoye.
Oh
So
yeah,
Okoye
what
is
the
not
fuck?
part of the what do they call them? The warriors. She's not part of the warriors and the guards and stuff like that anymore. So now she's basically just a normal citizen. Which I don't see why she just
Dora
didn't.
Milaje.
Dora Milaje, yes, thank you.
Yeah, and now she becomes one of the two weird looking outfit women. I forget what she calls them.
The blue versions are the rescues, the rescue suits
Kind
that
of.
Iron Man made.
Let's see. Midnight Avengers.
Midnight
Or Midnight
Avengers,
Angel, I'm sorry.
Midnight Angel. Okay, are those a comic thing? I've never heard of that one.
They have to be
It
with
must be with the Wakanda.
Midnight Angels. Yep, they
Okay.
exist. Is the name used for a subgroup of Dora Milaje special unit.
There we go. Alrighty. Anyways,
I have to agree with her character sentiments though. Every single time you walk in, is it just me or is that thing getting uglier? Like, yeah, it is. It really is.
yeah, the suits in this were just ugly in general. The metal suits and stuff, they were just
Yeah.
stupid and ugly in this movie. The design could have been a lot better. But yeah, we have the final fight scene. They try to attack Atlanteans, basically.
It was a trap to lure Namor out. Because
Yeah,
their whole plan is to dehydrate him, which is a good plan until he starts ripping apart the ship, because of course he would.
maybe take him somewhere further from the water.
She was trying to get him to the desert and didn't quite make it there in time.
Yeah. But we get this somewhat fun fight scene. I want to know how the hell she knows how to fight so well. Just because you put a suit on does not give you the skills of a
I
fighter.
mean, we don't know. She could have been training with people.
We saw her fighting in the last movie, and she didn't fight. She just shot when she was fighting, defending. So, and then in Endgame, she really didn't fight. Was it Endgame? No, Infinity War. Sorry.
Yeah, she was busy with Vision.
Yeah. She had guns. That's about it. So, I don't know how. Well, I guess I don't know if once they get the Black Panther powers, if they
Okay.
get the skills and stuff, kind of like a Power Ranger suit gives you the ability to fight better.
So, yeah, they mentioned that despite being an excellent combatant, she rarely fights in the front lines. She briefly holds her own against Killmonger for a time before, he gets the upper hand. So, yeah, she's trained.
Which doesn't make sense that she held her own against Killmonger when he had the Black Panther power and the suit.
Well, she had the gauntlets.
Oh, yeah, she was just shooting him. Which she designed the fucking suit. Don't you think that hitting him with power is just going to make him more have the blast at the end? Anyway, no, yeah, I thought it was interesting. It didn't take me out though. I'll tell you that right now. It didn't take me out. Her fighting didn't take me out. I was just like, she got stabbed like Tony did.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up just like Tony.
Yeah, there's a lot of allusions to Tony in this.
And she kind
We
of
get the
heals
cool,
herself like Tony with the nanotech heals her or something.
I think it just cauterizes the wound because she's still in pain.
Yeah. She has a chance to kill Namor, but she does not. And they decide that
we
they're
get the
going
rest of
to work together.
the scene with her and Killmonger where he's like, "Oh, aren't you like me? Don't you want to see the world burn?" She's like, Nah, I want to be like my brother. Fuck you."
Right. So her and Namor make a deal where they'll protect them from the sea, as long as they stay the fuck away from everybody.
Yeah, don't create war. And Namor, we think he's like, he's beaten, so he's like, yeah. Which, by the way, we see one of his wing get cut off from his feet, and ow.
Yeah, I
Like
wonder if those have to grow back, right?
Yeah, they have to, but ow.
Yeah.
One second.
Knock, 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 knock. No, I agree. It's we get a shot of him getting his wing like literally cut off by whatever utensil she has on her person from the suit, and it looked very painful, dude. Like, I don't understand if he can grow it back, or if he has to.
That was my
I don't
cat.
understand. That was your cat knocking?
That was my cat. She has what little ping pong eyeball from Halloween she's playing. She's knocking it against my door. I thought it was
Nice.
my wife.
But yeah, no, I'm assuming he grows them back, dude. Like, they have to grow back. Anyways, so we go off. Wakanda's basically beaten. There's only like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
Wakandans
they're
still
like
out, and so we go back to the boat, and there's only like 5 Wakandans there. It's like M'Baku, Riri is there, and then you have Okoye, her other partner. I forget the other girl's name that's in the angel outfit, and then you have Nakia, and they just hang out on the boat. They have people coming up the boat. It literally looks like a scene from Pirates of the Caribbean where all the creatures are climbing up the boat and shit to attack them. And then they're just like, yeah, we're stopping. I'm like, bro, like, you just turn around and stab the Black Panther and kill her, and you win. Like, there's no...
Yeah.
And then you can have your war. Because Wakanda is clearly the only ones that supposedly can take you out, I guess you're assuming. Yeah. So, and then we end the movie with because as you were saying, the Moore was making it seem like he was beaten and out and everything. What is his explanation as to why he surrendered?
Because they're going to have to come and ask them for help, which means they're basically at they're not Atlanteans. They're basically at their mercy.
Yeah.
When the time comes, because the world, he sees the political powers somehow is shifting and getting ready to go fend off Wakanda.
Right. So he's basically just setting it all up to be a big thing
right.
that we have going on here. And Tivis keeps having issues with his cat. Oh, Tivis.
Well, I thought
all right.
if she would come in here, she would stop complaining, but no. I can't have my door open because I'm too loud.
And we get this shot of... That's it. That's how the movie ends, basically.
And then there's one.
They arrest Ross. The
FBI. Everett Ross.
His name? Everett Ross. Yes, thank you. They arrest him supposedly for helping Wakanda.
Oh, he's CIA.
Yeah. They arrest him for helping, which his ex-wife was...
It's Valerie.
Valentina. Yeah.
Valentina. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. They arrest him. Whatever. They're taking him to jail, and kaboom! There are the Blue Angels. Is it the Blue Angels? Is that what you said? Right?
Yep.
Yeah, the Blue Angels are there, and they break.
Or
him
not
out
Blue
of,
Angels. They're
what are they? They're blue.
Midnight Angels.
Midnight Angels. They need to be a little darker than the suit color.
Yeah.
Dark blue. Make it dark blue, guys. And then that's it.
Now, I guess he's
They
living in
came out.
Wakanda now.
He's going to be now. Maybe he'll set up his own team to go against the Thunderbolts.
Could be. Yeah, he could be using his knowledge of the people in the power right now.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, like these are the people you could talk to try and cool things down. These are the people you want to avoid.
Yeah. Do you think that Thunderbolts are gonna do? Are they gonna be the bad people in their movie? Like, I know they're like not supposed to be.
Well,
Like,
they're
the
working for
perfect-
Valentina, so yes.
Whatever they're doing is going to be bad. Kind of like a Suicide Squad almost.
Yes. That's basically what they are.
Yeah. So is James Gunn gonna direct that one?
I think it might be the oh my god, the Avenger brothers. What's their name?
Russos?
Russos.
No, I think if they come back, they're gonna do Secret Wars.
Oh, maybe that's it. I know they are coming back. I just can't remember what for.
And then we get our mid-credit scene, which is
Future proofing.
we are at Nakia's place in Haiti. And what are we doing there, Tivis?
We're fighting off a sneeze. So Shuri finally decides she's ready to burn her, funeral garb, and because she's like, they really are, still with me all around us.
Mm-hmm.
And as she's burning it, the person whose name you just said comes back,
Nakia.
and yeah, comes down with a little boy, and she's like, "Hey, meet your nephew, Prince T'Challa."
No, they don't say that.
No, I'm summarizing because that's what happened.
They what is the kid's name that they gave him? I'm trying to see if they have it in the credits here. Nope, it doesn't. I don't even see him in here.
So his name is Toussaint, Toussaint.
Toussaint, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then they later reveal that his secret is he is Prince T'Challa, thus giving
Junior.
us another T'Challa in the MCU, thus making it so basically he could be Black Panther in like 5-10 years.
If this continues another, what are we at, 14 years now? Another 14 years. This kid is what, like 6 or 7 now, I think they said. So he'll be in his 20s. That's thick. Yeah.
It depends. He's got to be like 7 or 8.
I think they said 6 years, but we don't know how long before then he was born.
Right.
So he's at least 6, but
dude, what happened to babies if they got snapped away?
We can't think about that. That's
you
got to think about
brought back. Oh my
what
god.
About
oh my god, there's babies dropping out the sky.
Yeah, you can't think about that.
Oh, so many dead babies everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here we
babies.
go. He was born in 2018, the year of the snap. Thank God the fandom doesn't call it the blip. Seriously.
So
Disney,
he'd be about
Marvel.
7 years old.
Stop.
Because we don't know when T'Challa dies in the timeline, if it's like the year he comes back or a year after he comes back.
Yeah.
And then we have a year after his death is when the movie takes place.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Right.
In 2024. So yeah, basically just after. Oh fuck. Just after Endgame.
Is when he was born?
No, when T'Challa became ill.
Okay.
That's fucked.
I wonder if they say because of the powers from the gauntlet snapping him away and the plant at the same time. Because he had the plant in the system at the same time.
I don't think they'll ever going to explain it, but
well, I'm explaining it to you, Tivis.
Oh man, that sucks. So
Yeah.
yeah. So he's about 6.
Okay. All right.
Because this movie will be 2025 then.
Right. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out a timeline proper because they say that T'Challa prepared them both for his death. So he must have gone and seen them several times before he died, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, you come back, you go finding your old girlfriend and find a son. And then you get sick. It's like, well, I've already been gone for 5 years, so
I feel that kid
don't
was
be sad that I'll
born
be gone again.
I feel the kid was born before the snap.
It says
Had
it
to
was
be.
the same year, 2018.
So maybe he knew already, and that's why she didn't come anywhere near in Infinity War. So maybe. Potentially. Let's go back and watch T'Challa's feelings there and see if he looks like he's a proud daddy or not. Anyways, that's the end of the movie, dude. Oh, Tivis, I didn't stay for the full credits. Did you stay for the full credits?
Well, yes, I did. Because
Tivis, what
normally there's
happened?
2. Nothing. There was nothing.
I didn't tell you there was 2.
Normally there are. You didn't tell me there wasn't 2 either.
So how long was the movie for you, man? That had to be a very short
Are we
film,
including
right?
all of the commercials that Rave puts in front of all this shit?
Oh, no.
All
right. So yeah, so
I
that's
did
Black
get to
Panther.
read Black Panther Will Return, though, which is something I already knew because
That's all
they
they said at
always
the
come
end?
back. Yeah.
That's it. I read on the thing it said there's a message at the very end, and I was like, I'm leaving now.
No,
Every time I go to the movies, I don't look it up before I go to the movies, but I'll go to the movies, and after the credits start, then I'll Google it and say, how many end credit scenes are there? And usually the first thing comes up and says, yes, there's 1 or there's 2.
I had about 3% left on my phone, so I turned it off. That's why I wasn't
Oh.
messaging you a lot. But yeah, so they did have a very nice, to our beloved friend Chadwick
Yes.
before the credits even began. And then
Yeah.
there was like 4 or 5 names that this movie was also dedicated to at the very end that, like, my
Okay.
God, how many people passed away making, between the last one and this one? This is ridiculous.
That one was being shot during like pandemic stuff too. So
Yeah.
and there was a lot of people, that happened.
Can I say the Georgia Peach was in the credits? Apparently Disney's back filming in Georgia now.
I thought they were always filming in Georgia. There's always
Weren't they protesting them?
No. Come on, Disney doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, they care enough to where people pay.
Georgia offers the best tax credits right now for the film. Disney's not going to be leaving there. They're going to be shooting there for a while until the tax credits get better somewhere else. Fucking shills.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, overall, I thought this movie was all right. It's not.
No, it was.
There was stuff that I loved in it.
Right. For me, it was a fine film. I loved the fact that it had emotion to it, and mixed in with normal Marvel crap all the time. It was one of the Marvel films that has, it uses emotion with your emotions based in reality too. So I think it gets a bigger emotional response out of people, especially people who like Chadwick or even cared about like his career or what he did in film and stuff like that. Because Chadwick had a really great career for a short time that he was, famous, like really famous. I want to say, not just like acting, but actually famous. He had a really good career in that span of time
where he became a star. Tarantino.
Yes. Well, I think Jackie Robinson made him a star, that movie.
Yeah.
Maybe before.
A very rich star.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought as far as that aspect goes, great job. The emotion it was there, it kept you going, and it
Yeah.
made watching the other crap worth it. And yeah, there was some messaging in this, but it wasn't so heavy-handed that you didn't believe it in this story. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of the stuff that like Namor says and all that, like you can attribute it to real world things that are going on right now.
Yep.
But it wasn't so heavy-handed that it didn't make sense for the story. So I enjoyed that, and it was kind of almost like what friggin' they did in Aquaman, anyways. Like the guys just wanted to start war with the entire world. So, I mean, at that point, you know, what can you do?
Another negative I have though is the music.
You didn't like the music?
There were certain pieces that even my wife turned to me and was like, "This is destroying my eardrums in the theater." Like it got to such a high pitch that it was like, "Oh my god."
Right.
Uh, yeah, yeah. You know, it's a great installment in the MCU, and it leaves a lot of, like many of this phase, it leaves a lot of threads for us to follow in the future if they so
Yeah.
choose. And did you see the reported budget of this?
I did not.
It
I mean, that's
is
200
roughly
million.
250 million.
So, yeah, I was gonna say.
The first movie was 200.
Okay.
So if we double that for marketing, as they say, they need to make about 500 million. Do you know how much it's made?
600.
Yep, it's already made back its money. So
Okay.
unlike
That was just a guess. So.
unlike Black Adam, which was a budget of 200 million and has only made 300 million. So
Oof. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
For a
inching
rock
closer to
movie?
4.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, so.
in Black Panther or Black Adam's defense, Black Adam's not as good. I did watch both in theaters. Black Adam, it's a fun movie. It's a fun action film. If you like The Rock, yes, watch it. Other than that, I mean, like, just you can really wait for it to come home. But if you do want to see like The Rock versus a specific person, probably go out and participate in funding this film so that they will make that movie where The Rock fights
Hey,
the specific character.
remember, the hierarchy of DC will never be the same. Oh, poor Dwayne.
So, you know, like, yeah, if you want to see Black Adam, The Rock, again, fight a specific character, actor, you know, in future films, potentially, you know, go out and fund this film by paying for it and watching it, or just pay for the tickets and don't go and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As much as, you know, they might lose a little bit of marketing money on this, I think James Gunn is going to have plans in the future. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no way that they don't do something. And The Rock, with the star power he has, I don't picture them not utilizing him in a future movie. Period. Especially with, I mean, The Rock is kind of like Ryan Reynolds. You don't really have to market it a whole lot. The actors will do it themselves, you know? Like Ryan Reynolds markets his films and stuff more than the studios do, I feel sometimes. Especially like with Deadpool and everything like that, where he just grabbed the suit and did some stupid little videos. It didn't cost them anything really. And I feel that sometimes, especially for these comic book films, not to put down comic book films, but for comic book films, they should do that more. Like Captain America should have been out there promoting a Captain America movie in stupid little videos. Like you have that, hey kids, do you like, you know, let's talk about blah blah blah. That stupid little video that Chris Evans did in Spider-Man, and they're like, isn't he a terrorist now? But like you could have had Chris Evans do a bunch of those just to pitch the damn movie, like to tell people to go out and watch, watch my new adventure with, Captain or Iron Man and blah blah blah. And cheap little
I think
things
you get
that you
the.
could have done.
I think you get. We're starting to see a little bit of that with the MCU now, because you get some of the actors who are, just having fun with it, whereas a lot of them were kind of done with it around the time that started taking off.
Yeah.
Because I mean, of the original crew, Chris Hemsworth is the only one who's still very gung ho about these, and he's currently taking a break because he's got that health scare going on. He's not sick, regardless of what the clickbait stuff is saying. He's got a disease that runs in his family that he has high ability to contract,
right?
And that's kind of freaked him out. That's all that's going on.
Well, that's why like the whole last Thor movie was nothing but like his family, like his wife's in there, his other brother's in there, not Liam.
Liam.
Liam
had his time.
Daughter, his son. Yeah. Anyways, that was Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Go out and check this film out, guys, if you want like a nice emotional ride for Chadwick, especially. Great tribute film. But as far as like a MCU film or whatever, basic, I guess. It's on par with most other films. It's the 3-act structure still. That intro though is probably the best like cold opening we've had in MCU for a while.
Be prepared for that. You were going have we
had another cold opening in the MCU? We had the one in,
there's been a couple. But I don't think any as emotionally impactful as this.
We had Infinity War, which we got to see where Loki gets killed.
Yeah.
And then you had Guardians of the Galaxy where Peter's mom dies.
Yep.
So every cold opening, someone's dead.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was the last of our depressing stuff today.
Yeah. We're going to talk about another Marvel thing. The Guardians Holiday Special. Oops. We're not working in tandem.
Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special just came out about a week ago now. For when this comes out, I recommend everybody go and watch this. It's fun for me. Tivis, what about you? Just
100% recommend. This was a very good cleanser after all of the emotional stuff of Black Panther.
I straight up right away, as soon as this was over, I told my wife, well, at least, for all the tragedy and grief and everything we've had in the MCU lately, it was nice to finally watch one MCU product that didn't have that,
Yeah.
It was nice, subtle,
it's just some friends wanting to celebrate being friends.
Yeah. And it was awesome. I enjoyed watching this. It was 45 minutes long. Nothing too
50 if you count the credits.
50 if you count the credits, which there's no post-credit scene.
No, there's not.
No, yes there is. There's one.
Is there?
One little credit scene. Yep.
I will probably remember it once we start talking about it.
Okay. So in this show, the episode, we find that they started off with a animated, which is this the same animation that they used in the Guardians of the Galaxy shorts? It looked a little like, I haven't watched that, so I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. The shorts aren't part of this series, though. That was kind of I can't remember if it was either a spin-off or sort of a pilot for the Guardians cartoon.
Okay. But yeah, it starts out in an animation style where we see basically Peter's trying to celebrate Christmas. He's teaching the aliens. He's teaching Yondu and what's the other guy's name? Played by the other gun brother.
I'll tell you in a second.
I forget his name. James Gunn's brother. Is it Ryan Gunn? No,
it's Sean, and
Sean
he
Gunn,
plays Kraglin.
Kraglin, yes.
And also the motion capture for Rocket Raccoon still.
Yeah. But Peter's trying to teach them about Christmas, and Yondu's pissed off. He's like, nobody's celebrating Christmas. I hate Christmas, blah, blah, blah. This is all animated, too, which was kind of interesting way to start it and finish it.
And it was nice to see Yondu again, even in this version.
We should also say spoilers
Yeah.
for Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, just in case. But go out and watch it. It's on Disney Plus. And yeah, so we get that, and then we go into live action where Sean Gunn is there talking to Drax and Mantis, and I believe Nebula's there as well.
Yeah, Nebula is around. She's not much for conversation in this at all.
No. I'm pretty sure she was busy, so they didn't have her really. They just probably had her show up one day and did all of her parts.
Karen, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of stuff going on recently.
Because even Star-Lord Pratt isn't really heavily in this because you know it's mostly a Drax and Mantis esque show, and then the CG characters, of course. So
we find out immediately that, you know, after this story of Yondu, like, hey, Christmas, no, fuck you, Ravagers, we fight for what we want.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, that's real sad. And Drax is like, people survived. I don't like stories.
Yeah. But this is where we basically set off the show where like they're going to try and
why are they doing this though?
Set up for this is where we get the reveal from Mantis to Drax that she is Peter's sister.
And he doesn't care. He's more concerned she ate all the snacks.
Yeah. She's just like, I feel because he's like my brother, I should do something nice for him. You know, we find out she's like the daughter of Ego. As well. Which I don't know if it was you or somebody was talking to me about it, and they said that doesn't make sense because Ego killed all of his kids. And to them, I replied, it does make sense because Ego kills all of the people that didn't have the power to do anything for him. He kept her alive because if we remember in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, she helps put Ego to sleep. She gives him rest. She takes care of him in those ways. So he basically used her for her powers that she had to help himself. That is why, for those people out there questioning that is why, for me anyways, I feel that she was still alive and not killed.
We also forgot to mention that my favorite Guardians member is finally on screen. Cosmo, the cosmonaut dog.
Cosmo.
And he's got his psychic powers.
Yes, he does. And talking and everything. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Do we get a movie where Cosmo...
Oh, it's a she in this one, apparently.
Yeah, it's a she. Do we get a movie where Cosmo, Rocket, and Howard the Duck all team up? I guess
I would be down.
In there. That would be awesome.
Whatever happened to Howard? We last saw him at the bar in the second Guardians movie.
He was in Endgame.
Well, yeah, okay. There was a cameo if we want to count that as actually happening.
And then he was in the fucking Thor movie as a cameo.
Was he? I missed that.
I think that's where he was in the bar.
No, because he was definitely at the bar that the old Ravagers are at in the second Guardians. That's...
Well, I believe I think that he was in Thor, the last Thor, Love and Thunder. I will double check that, but you can talk.
Okay. Yeah. So they're like, we gotta make this up because, you know, he misses home. He's lost pretty much all of his family. He's lost the love, you know, of Gamora. So he's kind of in a rut. So like, well, what can we do to make him happy? Let's do this human holiday that's coming up. And we're going to bring him the hero that he's always talking about of Earth, Kevin Bacon. I saw an interview with Kevin Bacon. So what's it like playing yourself in the MCU? He's like, It's kind of like an out of body experience.
Yeah.
But dude, Kevin Bacon's awesome. Dude, Tremors for life.
Right. I was
Uh,
talking to the family because we were all watch this together. And they're like, "How did Kevin Bacon get like famous?" I was like, "They're like, I don't remember what Kevin Bacon was in." This is like my wife and her father. I was like, and her father's a Tremors fan. I was like, Tremors? Like, he's in the first Tremors? And he's like, is he? I was like, yeah. And I was like, also Footloose? Like, that's like where most people know him from. Also, girls, ladies out there, if you watch Wild Things with Kevin Bacon in it, you get to see his schlong. It's long. For real. I surprised my wife with that one. I didn't show her. I just said, "Oh yeah, he was you get to see his shit in that one." She's like, "Really? He did that?" And I was like, "Yeah. Yep, he did."
I forgot he was in Friday the 13th, and we watched that movie.
Yeah, Friday 13th, he plays and it was funny cuz he was in this movie. They actually say what happens to him in that movie. And I was like saying it right before he did, and then I just got the look from everybody on the couch. I was like,
Shut up.
"What? I remember shit."
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't think they were gonna actually say what happened to him. I just heard them say Friday the 13th. I was like, "Oh yeah, he got stabbed through the neck from under the bed." And they just all looked at me. I was like, "It was funny." Oh man.
Yeah, this is just a. By the way, Groot's new. I don't know what stage of adolescence he's at, but he's fucking weird looking.
Yeah. He. It's weird because like they took him from Baby Groot to teenage
Groot. Now he's
to
like
now he has like Arnold's body and fucking Baby Groot's face.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they have Vin do the mocap this time or something?
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know where what stage of life he's supposed to be in. It looks weird.
He's getting closer to being maybe this is his puberty where he goes through weird changes.
No, because in Endgame,
yeah, I know he was a teenager,
in
but
Infinity War he was a teenager going through puberty because he had like the cracking voice. He was like, "I am Groot."
Yeah, maybe
and shit like that.
I don't know. This is
and
like, I am Groot. He basically looks like a football player with a tiny head.
He does. He looks. It was
football.
A weird choice, but guess what? People are going to remember it. That's all.
And
that
they
matters.
do.
And that's it. Hopefully they don't change it. I hope that Disney does not go back in there and like change it up or anything. I like it. It's unpleasant on the eyes. It catches you and you're really just thrown off by it. So I enjoyed that.
That tweet I sent you from the an Australian comedian, Joel Dusher. Most surprising thing about the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special is how fucked up Groot looks now. They made him fuck ugly. Straight up looks like a freak. Leave him in space. I don't want to look at him anymore. We also find out that the Guardians apparently bought Nowhere.
Yeah. Well, they destroyed it, so.
So they still. I wonder if they got it real cheap from the collector then.
The collector died.
Well, they said they bought it from the collector.
He didn't die. He was still at the end. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now we need him and his brother from Jeff Goldblum to meet because.
Right, that would be. I think Jeff Goldblum got eaten to death though, because they show him at the end of the movie and they're all about to like kill him.
Maybe he was living with Daryl last I saw. Thor's roommate.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, back to the special.
Yeah.
Did you find whatever you were looking up? I forgot what you were looking up.
I couldn't find anything about him in the Thor, but the last appearance that it looks like we saw of him, of Howard the Duck, was in What If.
Oh yeah, he was in one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I swore that he was in like one of the Thor movies. Maybe it was Ragnarok. I don't recall now. But yeah.
Are you sure you just don't think it was because the Thors look like Guardians movies now?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah, but
All right.
I loved how the Drax and Mantis on Earth with down walking around Hollywood. The people think he's like, God of War.
Yeah. It's nice too because after we were
He
finally
beats
able
the
to
shit out of that robot guy.
yeah, he does. We were finally able to open up the door though for these characters to just walk around and stuff on Earth because of Endgame, which was nice.
I
That
wonder
really
how much that was them actually walking through random people instead of booking the street.
I could see that it was booked for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the movie guy, so I trust you.
I don't think that they would do that. And
It sounds like
sometimes
something James would do to me, but
the thing is, you would want specific costumes, and you would want them to look somewhat good looking. Like sometimes the people out there over by the Chinese theater don't.
well, I meant when they were taking like selfies and stuff with the crowd, not so much
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah. No, because you still have to get rights to put them in the movie and shit like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But the Chinese theater is back and up and running since Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
They
rebuilt
blew that
it.
thing the fuck up.
Mhm.
And I was like, how is that there? And Nikki's like, well, it has been like at least 5 years. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll give him that. Whatever. I wonder if Tony helped pay for the Chinese theater to get put back up. If
I
he's
wouldn't
like
be
an art
shocked.
lover. And he got his own prints put out there in front of it just for the hell of it. Okay. Anyway, moving along. Yeah, so Drax and Mantis are out looking for the great hero Kevin Bacon. And then they go and get drunk in a bar.
Yes. Yeah, they get a ton of cash too.
Yeah, they do. I straight up thought they were walking into a gay bar. Like I thought that was
I
gonna be
thought
the
so
thing.
too.
Because like the way the guys were looking at Drax, I was like,
The one guy hitting on him.
yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. And then they end up outside, and then there's like a lady with maps,
This is a little fucked up.
star maps or whatever, and then she wants
Maps of the stars.
$40 for this damn map to celebrities' houses. And Mantis is like, well, I don't have any more money. And then she just like grabs the girl and is like, you want to give me the map? And then she grabs her again and she's like, you want to give me all your money too?
Yes.
And then I
That's
think this is
fucked
like the first time we've seen her use her power like this in this
Yeah.
way. Usually
It's
it was
a little
like
terrifying
sleeping.
to watch.
Yeah. Which is cool because maybe that's going to come into play in the next movie, so they wanted to set it up a little bit more for
Maybe,
us.
yeah.
And then they go and find Kevin Bacon's house. He won't let them in. So she's like, why don't you just try and throw me over? And before she's finished, Drax just grabs her and tosses her ass over the fence.
Which we
And
find
she's
out.
pissed off.
We find out in literally 10 minutes she could have just jumped it herself, but she's so drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Throw me
So
when I'm ready. Dude, she gets angry with Drax in this movie.
yeah, she shows a lot of more emotions in this one than she did in the previous movie, anyways. That we've seen her in. So I mean, more character building, I guess, for Mantis because we didn't have a lot in the movie that we saw her in, and then everything else has just been like little quick clips in here and there for Infinity War and Endgame clips and Thor and all that shit. So it makes a little more sense to build her character up. And then we get they go into Kevin Bacon's house and they scare the shit out of him.
Yeah, they do. First they're at his gate. They're like, we need you. He's like, I didn't know. you're a couple of drunk weirdos at my gate. All right, I guess I'm,
Mm.
probably used to dealing with this.
Yeah.
So he shuts off his thing so he doesn't hear the doorbell anymore. Then they're at his front door. By the way, Drax steals one of his elves, and she takes
Yeah.
Mantis takes a candy cane.
Yeah.
And oh my god, we're getting man.
Did you see what I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I watched it a few years ago on a live stream for people and stuff. Kevin Bacon was watching Santa Claus Conquers the Martians on TV, and that's an awesome movie. Go watch it.
I was
everybody.
wondering why you were posting about that the other
Actually,
day.
I posted about it, and then someone commented and was like, dude, not going to say who's watching it, but someone's watching this in the Guardian special. And I was like, are you serious? That's awesome. Because I didn't know
that is a coincidence right there.
It was. So it's like, awesome. Cool. Yeah, because I was like, this is like one like a Christmas movie I enjoy. That's an older public domain movie, so you can watch it wherever, whenever, and share it and all that.
Mm.
And I shared it, and then they were just like, yeah, dude, that's in the Guardians of the Galaxy special. It's like, well, shit, now everyone's gonna think I shared it because of that. So I had to then share a video of me watching it like back in 2018 to prove that's not the reason I shared it. Anyway.
Yeah, they get to their front. They're like reading his door, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm going to have to call the cops. These people climbed my fence."
Yeah, and he tries to call the cops. He does call the cops actually.
Bust through the window.
Yeah, and they chase him out. Drax had picked up an elf man, blow up elf guy or whatnot. He lost it in the house, and she has a candy cane that she picked up out of his jar. She's like, they're here. They must be for us for free to take.
Can I just say, them chasing him through the house was like Mantis crawling on the walls and stuff.
Right. Freaky.
She's terrifying in this special.
Yeah. She they're definitely showing her her character for sure. She's no longer scared or anything like that of like ego, so that's awesome.
Yeah, she's broken out of her funk or whatever it was.
Right.
But Kevin eventually gets out of the house, and as they're getting ready to chase him down, Drax is like, "I lost my funny man."
Yeah. And she's like, "Well, you can either go and get him, get Mr. Bacon with me right now
to make your friend
happy, or you can go get your funny man."
Which is more important.
It pauses for so long, and then he's like,
I want my funny man.
The funny man. Give me the funny man. And then they run off and go get Bacon anyways. And
the cops show up.
The cops really do show up.
Mantis takes them mostly all down single-handedly by putting them to sleep, and then Drax almost kills two of them, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
It's like, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to kill anybody." He's like, "Well, no one explained anything to me."
She gave him the candy cane so that they're even now.
Yeah. I wonder if this is probably only the second or third time that Drax has been on Earth, right?
Yeah, probably second, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was at Tony's funeral too, so I don't know.
Yeah, but that was because they were there from Endgame, so it was his first visit.
Okay. And then they get Bacon, and they were like, "You're just going to come with us." Like, that's it. And she puts him in the trance.
You want to come with us? He's like, "Where are we going?"
Right. And they get on the ship, and then they start realizing that Kevin Bacon. Oh, go on.
I like how he's just looking around with like the goofiest fucking face.
Yeah.
They realize he's an actor, and they hate actors.
Oh my god, he's an actor. Ugh. Yeah, it's funny. And then she like grabs him and is like, "You need to pretend that you're a real hero."
So then he's a British soldier in World War II, and she's like, "No, just your normal voice."
Yeah. Oh man. And then they get back, and they did raid a store, Christmas store. Sorry,
Oh yeah. They did. Their
they raided a
ship is
Christmas store.
full of.
So they get back to nowhere, and
They get it all set up without Peter being suspicious, but
yeah,
he notices Groot staring at him and running away.
yeah. I think that was done on purpose. I think that's supposed to get his attention.
Probably,
To get
or
him
he
out
was
there.
watching so that they know when he leaves wherever he was. I don't know if it
Right.
was a bar or a restaurant, but
Right. Peter comes out and finds all these dope ass Christmas lights everywhere. It's starting to look like, the Santa Claus village in the Santa
yeah,
Claus.
they're like lighting him up bit by bit as he's
Yeah.
walking through the town. And the look, oh man, like Peter needed a win at this point. Like we talk about loss with this phase of the MCU. This guy has lost so much, like as much as Thor, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Oh, speaking of, sorry to go back to Black Panther, but my wife was like, now she, my wife, I'm sorry. It's funny. After the movie was over, my wife was like, well, now she knows how Thor feels.
No.
I was
Oh.
like, oh shit, babe. Because she lost her dad, her brother, her mom. Yeah. So, and Thor had lost, his
Everyone.
mom, his dad, his brother,
His
half his
love.
people, his love, his hammer, his eye.
Yep.
Thor has lost the most. But yeah, Peter is second closest to losing the most. He lost his mother as a child. He lost. He killed his father.
Yeah, he killed his dad. His
He
father
killed his
figure.
dad. He lost his father
love.
figure. He lost his love. And
Her replacement clearly doesn't like him.
yeah, yet. Ooh, I wonder if Mantis will like just touch her and be like, "You will remember everything."
I
from this
hope
other
not.
universe." Do like a Martian Manhunter thing on there. Now you remember everything from another timeline. Doesn't make sense, CW. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, we're talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Rest in peace, CW.
What the fuck, CW?
You're gonna have to play that one final time when it eventually all ends with Flash.
All right. But yeah, so Peter gets to see all these really cool lights, and then randomly he sees a package being wheeled out on a dolly.
Everyone comes out like, hey. Yeah, Groot wheels a box out. He's so excited until it starts wiggling, and then he gets a little concerned, and then he hears a voice saying, "I'm gonna pass out. There's no air holes."
Yeah,
and he gets real concerned.
very concerned, and it's very awkward. He starts to rush over and open it up really fast.
Yeah. And Kevin pops out, and he's, hey, At first, Peter's like happy, and then he's like, "Wait a minute, did you use your powers on him?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Undo it now." Was this before or after he had the altercation with Groot, where Groot's like, "I knew it was a bad idea." He's like, "I saw you wheel the box out."
That was right. That was before he told her to undo it, and then he's like, "I knew it was a bad idea." This Groot right here. Oh my gosh. He's so weird looking, especially because he has his bow on his hair too, and her head there here. Yeah. But yeah, he tries to get them to undo it. They undo it, and then he's like, "All right, now don't freak out." And then he just freaks out and runs.
Yeah,
he's like,
"You're not gonna freak out. You're not gonna run. No. Okay, cool." Then he bolts.
Yeah. And then Nebula's like grabbing their gun. And he's like, "No, we're not gonna kill him." And he's like, "All right, go get him. Go get Bacon." And then she's going. And he's like, "Don't kill him."
Oh, Nebula.
And then they end up getting him back, and he starts to realize what's going on, I guess.
Well, Kraglin is, he's getting ready to take him back home.
Yeah.
and he's like, we got you because Peter's been all depressed lately, and we're just trying to restore the meaning of Christmas. And Kevin's like, he gets a call from his wife. How do you get cell service? We get about a measly 4 million light years.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little late.
I have to help some friends out here, and then I'll be home.
Yes.
And then he goes back and he, helps them out and,
Sings a song.
sings a song, which we also, before they even go to get Kevin Bacon, the
Oh,
band
yeah,
sings a
dude.
song, and it's very, it
I
like,
want to own that song.
it talks about Christmas, and it's like, we don't fucking get it, basically. It doesn't make sense. Like the whole mythology and everything. Or the whole lore and stuff of Santa and everything else. There's just like, it doesn't make sense.
That was great.
And he's like, and you just got these instruments?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're lying there.
Yeah. And then Kevin Bacon sings his song, which Kevin Bacon, I believe, actually sung the song. It sounded a lot like his voice.
Oh, that's cool. It's not the
I
first
could be
time they had
mistaken,
someone.
but yeah.
Who did they have singing for the first or the second Guardians movie? He was Dick Fury.
Oh,
I can't believe
Baywatch. Shit. What's his name? Oh,
I'm gonna have to look it up, aren't I?
yeah, I'm blanking on his name
Guardians
at the moment.
2 music video.
Yeah, I don't recall. You're gonna say his name, I'm gonna be like, yep, that's it.
Hasselhoff.
Yeah, Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff. There we go. So yeah, it was fun to see that, and then he goes home, and then they're like, well, why did you decide that you needed to do this in the first place? And they're telling him, well, he told us about the story about how Yondu ruined Christmas for you, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh well, that wasn't the whole story. And then we go back to cartoon where Yondu digs through the garbage and finds his present.
Yeah. Which,
and it's
dude, this one hit me.
Yeah, it was the birdie thing, or like the bobblehead type thing that he always had on his dash.
His first miniature.
Yeah, that he always took with him too whenever his ship got destroyed and stuff in the first movie and stuff like that. Yeah. And then Peter opens up his present from Yondu that Yondu gives him, and it's his blasters that he's had the entire time, which is awesome to see. Yeah, and then we end the film. Oh no, and then Mantis is like, "Well, I'm your sister," and he's like, "Dude, that's the best. That's the best Christmas present
he's got
ever."
family.
Yeah, and he's super happy and stuff, and this is where This is when I told Nikki, I was like, "See, everybody's losing somebody in the MCU right now, and he finally gained a family member. Not like the.
I hope
Guardians
this
are his
isn't setting
families,
us
but,
up
like,
for a sad final movie from James Gunn here.
Oh no, yeah, I totally said that. Like, and she's like, "Yeah, he finally got a sister. Like, he's getting something." I was like, "Yeah, until the next movie, and she dies." And she's like, "Shut up!" And I was like, "It's gonna happen. You know it, right? Like, you can't. Superheroes aren't allowed to have family in the MCU. It's just not allowed."
Dude, I have to say I am loving these bringing back the one shots. I know they're not calling them one shots, but they might as well. These special stories, the Werewolf by Night, and this
The holiday
one
specials.
Yes, the special presentations.
Yeah, special presentations. But we do get one more shot in this real quick.
Oh yeah, where they're decorating Groot.
They're decorating Groot, and then he like drops his arms down, and Rocket's like, "Well, you ruined Christmas. Now we're gonna have to do another special."
Yeah.
And Kevin Bacon did mention that he'll be back for Easter, so maybe we'll get Guardians of the Galaxy Easter one. I highly doubt it, because their movie will be out by then, won't it?
Yeah, maybe. And we don't know what kind of, does he have exclusivity deal with or non-compete with Warner Brothers now?
Who?
James Gunn?
No. He can't. he still has a movie with Disney to do.
Well, I mean, that might be part of the, like, he finishes that movie and then he's strictly.
No, I'm sure James Gunn did not sign a non-compete. Come on now. Because he's only just partially running. There's going to be tons of movies that he's going to have to do that aren't going to be DC movies, you know,
Yeah.
or Marvel movies. So if he signed a non-compete, then he would have to do all of his movies through Warner Brothers, which means they would have to greenlight any movie he wanted to do that wasn't a comic book movie.
Yeah. All right.
And that would be a stupid a deal to sign unless Warner Brothers guaranteed to greenlight every movie that he wants to do. And I highly doubt they're going to do that. Plus, I think he has his own production company, so there's automatically a non-compete. Or there's already a compete right there. So
yeah, maybe it's just no Disney films.
Maybe. But I don't think so. I think that you can do that stuff now back and forth a lot easier. Because they did it with what's his face with Star Wars and Star Trek. He went back and forth.
JJ
Abrams, yeah. Which he's working with, or was working with DC. I don't know if he still is now. I don't know.
Reportedly, that's all scrapped. But
yeah,
I had a lot of fun with it. Like, this was so good. It was nice, and especially after we just saw Black Panther and was dealing with all that heavy, emotions.
Yeah, it was nice to see something where, you weren't crying because you're sad. Yeah. So it was awesome to see, and
I am buying the soundtrack to this full on when it comes out.
I hope that they're smart and they release all these things on like Blu-ray or something too, like the specials and the TV shows that they're doing. Like,
we still don't have WandaVision, so I'm not holding my breath.
I want these Disney.
I want them. Yes,
if you want it.
I'm still gonna keep Disney Plus. You want more of my money?
Right. Because how long until they decide, oh, we're gonna pull this, or we're gonna pull this, or we're gonna pull this one?
I mean, we already had that scare with the fucking PG filter malfunctioning and overriding Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah.
Ingenious idea, by the way. Terrible thing to go wrong.
Right. Yeah. No, I enjoyed this. Ooh, geez, sorry, that was really loud. I enjoyed this film, or this 45-minute episode of Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't wait to see Guardians 2, dude. I really can't. Guardians 3, yes. Guardians.
I know.
Movie 2.
Love
How
this.
about that?
I've said it before, but Guardians was the movie I thought was gonna fail because I didn't know who these characters were, and now they're my favorite team.
Yeah. It's one of those because they're all like you. Dude, they tried to do a team up movie with the Eternals and it didn't do good. And you have to have the right.
To be fair, they did a better Justice League though.
Yes, they. But you have to have the right people, I believe, not just behind the scenes, but in the film, working on these team up movies to make them work. Because and I'm not talking like an Avengers film where each one of them had their own setup movie already and then they came together. But like if you're just jumping into a team, like say the Fantastic Four, you have to have the right actors and the right director, the right people like writing it and everything for it to work very well. Unfortunately, I like the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. It's really long. I like it mainly for specific reasons, but story-wise and shit, that movie could have been a lot better. The Wiener, yes, I love the Wiener. It seems like something that fucking Ezra Miller would do in real life too. And that wasn't meant to be like a gay joke either. I meant it like just being weird with the wiener by the girls.
I know what you meant.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I'm pointing out there because some people will be like, oh, you talk about blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
No, they're fucking weird.
You haven't heard much about Ezra lately, so
Good.
maybe WBD, the Discovery part of it, probably shut him up and was like, "Hey, stop doing or saying anything. You're becoming our Kanye, and we don't want that." Um.
Yeah.
Anyways, I enjoyed it, and I hope that everyone else out there enjoyed it. Let us know
Mhm.
what you thought of Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special, because I assume, both really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um, and we want to hear your guys' thoughts. So let us know, like, on social media, email us at operationbabble@outlook.com, or in the comments on YouTube there. And same with Wakanda Forever. Let us know your thoughts on Wakanda Forever too.
Yeah. So I actually saw another movie that I want to talk about briefly.
Okay.
It's brand new, came out in September on Netflix, called Do Revenge. My wife decided to put this on, and it's a movie.
Anything with Maya Hawke, I'll watch.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. The premise, uh, not Maya Hawke, had her scantily photos that she sent to her boyfriend leaked.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I remember this film. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and Maya Hawke had herself outed, so they want revenge. So they decide to get revenge on the people who wronged them,
Yeah.
and it's got some interesting twists and stuff, and it's got like an interesting cast, like Rish Shah from the one dude from Miss Marvel's in it, the clandestine son.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Also Austin Abrams, he's Walking Dead and Euphoria, if you watch that one.
Nope.
And yeah,
I
so
don't need
it's
to see
got,
a bunch. I don't watch Euphoria because I don't care about watching a bunch of kids doing drugs and having sex.
well, then you may not want to watch this one. Although they're like senior year of high school going into college, so they, I don't know. But it's actually directed and part written by the person who did Space Jam: A New Legacy. So uh,
Oof. Oof.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a little something we watched that I thought I'd throw out there.
All right. I did watch another film recently. Last night I went and watched Glass Onion, the sequel, somewhat sequel to
Knives
Knives
Out.
Out. Yes.
Mistake, should have been called Spoons In.
It was a fun movie. It wasn't like nothing spectacular, but it was a fun movie. That'll be on Netflix on the 23rd of December. So if you guys have Netflix, just watch it there. Nothing super impressive. They have fucking Ethan Hawke shows up for like 5 seconds, and I was like, "You wasted like the best actor, dude! Like, come on." um, yeah. So that was a fun movie. I went and watched that last night, and then I got home last night, and that was a 2 hour and 20 minute movie, by the way. And I got home last night, and my wife had just started another 2 hour and 20 minute movie called the School for Good and Evil, is what it was,
Okay.
on Netflix, and I think it's on Netflix, and
Oh,
that
I
was
remember
actually
seeing ads for this.
yeah, that was actually a pretty good movie. I thought that they did a great job without spoiling anything. I thought they did a good job of showing good evil and true evil. You know what I mean? So you have like the
Yeah.
gray area, but then there is like true evil and shit. So I thought that it did a really good job of doing that story where a lot of them are trying to just do, oh, there's a gray area between all of this, but then there's also true evil out there. And I feel that, especially, I said this to my wife last night. I was like, because I know there's a lot of films like this that come out and you get a lot of protest or whatnot from the Christian side of things. I feel if Christians are watching this film, like the ones that complain about films, if they're watching this film and they have to complain about it, they're not understanding what the film is saying, I would say. from my point, from what I gathered from it, anyways. So yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
we
definitely.
both kind of watched a movie that I thought was like we don't have to get into this, but
Disenchanted.
Disenchanted, it was kind of
Yes.
interesting because it actually has something I've never seen before: the
Uh-huh.
evil stepmom versus the evil queen
Yeah.
kind of dynamic, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. It reminded me a little too much of uh uh what was it, the kids, the descendants in
So
style.
I haven't seen Enchanted either. So I went into
Oh,
this
you
one completely
haven't?
blind. No, my wife
Oh
watched it without
man,
me. Uh,
Enchanted is so much better. Like I thought it was a better film overall anyways.
I
um
was making fun of this relentlessly. So
yeah. Well, the first one is still has some of the same elements, but it's not as heavy-handed as this one is with like the fairy tale stuff necessarily, I guess.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I
my
do
wife
like
said the first one was
seeing,
better.
I love seeing that I've watched like 4 or 5 things new lately with what is his name, Marsden, James
Hmm.
Marsden, 'cause from Sonic and shit, and then he's in Disenchanted,
Yeah,
and he's
Cyclops.
Cyclops. Well, he's also in a TV show that we're finishing up the final season of, which is oh, it's the Christina Applegate one. I forget what it's called, but we watch it every night. The Light Dead to Oh, what is it called? Uh, what the fuck is it called, Davis? Dead to Me. Dead to Me on Netflix as well. He's in that show, and he was in something else I watched too besides this and that. Oh, what was it? I don't recall. Anyways, but he was in a bunch of stuff recently, and I love seeing that because after his X-Men days, he really didn't do a lot. But like I feel Sonic has pushed him back up into doing a bunch more stuff now. Um, yeah, so that was really cool to see him in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Anyways,
is. You know, it was all right. A lot of interesting stuff going on.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm real glad you reminded me about the Guardians movie because we had actually just started watching this thing that we're going to mention.
Yes, I have not started watching this yet. Um, but as far as our Christmas episode coming out next, our next episode is going to be our Christmas episode, guys. Just so everybody knows that. It will come out before Christmas, of course. We are going to talk about the entire Santa Claus franchise, Tim Allen's Santa Claus franchise. Um, so all 3 movies, including what, Tivis?
The Santa Clauses, the brand new show.
The brand new show on Disney Plus. Dude, everything's on Disney and Netflix right now. That I've been watching. Um, yeah, so we're gonna watch the Santa Clauses, and then also discuss the entire franchise moving through the entire show and the first 3 films as well. Tim Allen, the one true Santa Claus, and still Kringle and ready to jingle, as the tagline says on the poster here.
Oh,
Uh,
dude, you are going to love that.
now
We've
it's
watched all 3 episodes out right now.
Yes, it's 6 episodes long, correct?
It's going to go to the 14th, so I guess so. But
Okay,
episode 4 is out this week. So yeah, yeah,
all right,
6 episodes.
okay, all right. So yeah, we'll definitely be diving into that, and it's awesome because I watch all 3 of the other ones every year, um, and I'll probably watch those and then lead into this. So let's see how well it works out that way. I'm very excited that Tim
Extremely
Allen.
well.
Yeah, I'm very
Uh,
excited that Tim Allen got the chance to come back one last time and don the suit
I
and
was
do what he's doing.
actually apparently, like, from an interview that I just read, he had quite a bit of input in this. So
That's awesome.
and of the stuff I saw, they do a fantastic job of. I have not seen any retcons or anything. They haven't forgotten just conveniently anything that has happened in the previous
Okay.
films. So
Cool.
it,
Cool.
it is a true continuation.
Awesome. I do hope that it ends very well. With Tim Allen being behind it, like I'm happy to hear that because
I don't know how
he
much
likes.
he was involved with
Right.
the creativity, but he still had input. So
Okay. Well, he probably was like, yeah, we didn't do that in the last one, or these things here.
he said he wanted to tackle things that he felt were never addressed.
Okay. Sounds good. And I'm sure everybody comes back eventually in each episode or throughout the season, I should say.
Yeah, you would
it
hope.
does say season on there, so I wonder if they're going to continue it without him afterwards. I hope
Maybe.
not. I hope this isn't like one of those reboot
Passing of the torch.
thing, like where they do the requels, where it's like a reboot sequel, like it's a sequel but it's also rebooting the franchise with a new person. Like I would hate, like
Like the Hulk.
I wouldn't hate it honestly, but I won't watch anything else once Tim Allen's out. Let's just say that. Like I'm not gonna do it. It's like I didn't go and watch Buzz Lightyear when Tim Allen wasn't doing the voice.
Oh, dude, that is a good movie.
Was it? I don't.
Oh, yeah,
really
that's a
care.
great sci-fi movie.
Oh, call it something else then, please. I haven't watched it. I might end up watching it if the kids decide to, but yeah, other than that, I probably won't.
It's so good.
But as far as the Santa Claus franchise goes, I probably won't watch if they continue it with someone else.
It
'Cause
depends if it keeps being good.
Tim Allen is my Santa. Hashtag not my Santa. Yeah. Anyway, I would love to see him go and do like a Halloween thing too, because he was always great at doing like the Halloween shit in Home Improvement.
Yeah.
So
I
would like
liked
to see
the
that.
first Halloween special of Last Man Standing too.
Yeah. It was funny though, because in Last Man Standing he wasn't a big was it Christmas or Halloween? One of the two he didn't really care for, the character anyways.
It's been so I only made it to the Halloween episode, and that's only like 4 or 5 in. So
So there's this movie that he did back in 2017 that I watched it. I believe it's on Netflix. Might need to double check it. It's an hour and a half long, not too long. And it's called El Camino Christmas. And he's in there. And I watched it because I was like, Tim Allen, a Christmas movie? Let's watch it. I didn't know anything about it. Oh boy, he plays a drunk the whole time.
oh yeah, okay.
It does have Kurtwood Smith in it, of course, too. Dax Shepard, and a bunch of others. But yeah, he's in there, and Vincent D'Onofrio's in it as well. So it's got a really good cast. I can't take that away from it. Jessica Alba, but yeah, Tim Allen's plays a drunk in the movie, and it's actually a pretty good movie. So I suggest everyone go and watch that too. Yeah, El Camino Christmas. I think probably the worst, the weakest actor in it would probably be Dax Shepard.
Oh really?
Yeah, and he's not like a horrible actor, so I would say that he's probably the weakest one of the bunch that I can recall.
So you're saying that it was really well done?
Yeah. So, yeah. Other than that, guys, like I said, we'll be doing the whole Santa Claus franchise for Christmas. This year we decided not to do one movie each, because this show came out, and it's the final frontier. No, it's the final.
It's appearing like the last hurrah for Tim Allen.
Yeah, for this character.
I feel like he's been on that tour for a while. With the last season of Last Man Standing, again, I haven't seen it, but it looked like a giant tribute to his career.
Yeah.
And now this.
Yeah, I can see that. Do we get a Jungle to Jungle sequel as well?
Yes, I'm down for that.
If people haven't watched that, that's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Man, he used to do so much with Disney, and then like I remember when he talked about Last Man Standing when it first got canceled on the ABC. He was really bummed because he's had such a good relationship with Disney for his entire career.
It just takes the wrong person in charge of programming.
Right.
Ow, son of a bitch.
Because he did like those. I mean, Buzz Lightyear. Throughout the Toy Story films, anyways.
Yeah.
He did so much with Disney, and it was crazy to see that. And I felt bad for him, and I'm kind of glad that they have given the opportunity to come back and do this Santa Claus one with him, because I think that he also, like, I mean, granted the show was kind of like they were only on like one original daughter by the time the show ended for Last Man Standing, the second time it ended. So I understand why it ended that way that time, because it was like, yeah, you kind of only have one original daughter. The daughter you brought in to replace the other daughter that left looks nothing like her. So every time they replaced the daughter, they didn't look anything like them. But yeah, so I understand that, but I also know that that was also around the same time that Disney bought Fox too. So I was kind of like, oh, I hope it wasn't like a bad taste for him in his mouth, But since he's going around and doing sequels and stuff, Wild Hogs 2, maybe?
Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of old dudes out there that movie could be made with. So,
my grandpa loved that movie.
Christmas with the Cranks 2.
Hey,
that's a good Christmas movie.
or
too,
let's
Tim
get the
Allen.
fucking Galaxy Quest going.
Fuck yes, please. Not like, dude, I would love them to just do the show.
Been trying to get it for so long now. Just do it. Just fucking make it.
They're gonna make. Well, it sucks too because like so many of them are just old.
Some of them are no longer with us.
Yeah, some of them are no longer with us. But like, I don't know if Sigourney Weaver still acting. I know Alan Rickman passed away a few years ago.
The last thing I can think of that she was in was Defenders. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. But you have her. Is she gonna be in the new Avatar? No, she died, didn't she? Oh, she was in Ghostbusters.
I couldn't tell you. The only thing I remember is there was mechs.
She's gonna be in Avatar, The Way of the Water, Avatar 3, Avatar 4, and Avatar 5.
So apparently not.
So I don't know how that works because I swore she died.
I couldn't tell you.
But she was in Ghostbusters Afterlife as well, and she's in some other movies. So she's still acting. Tim Allen's still acting. Tony Shalhoub is still acting. I know that. Sam Rockwell. Fucking, why wouldn't you put Sam Rockwell in the Galaxy Quest show? He's a fantastic fucking actor. I don't know if Daryl Mitchell is. He played Tommy, who was the little kid in the show, in the fake show.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Enrico Mathazar. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that dude's real last name. Yeah, he's still acting too. Okay, so the majority of the ones that everybody remembers is still acting. And of course, Justin Long, he kind of needs a show.
Yeah. So in short, basically, we still love Tim Allen.
Yes, we do. Oh man, I love Tim Allen. There's so many actors out there too that like a lot of people dislike for stupid reasons, but Tim Allen's like one of the ones I'm just like, I don't care.
Seth Rogen deserves what he gets.
Yeah, sure. I want to say a personal story, but I can't.
Yeah, don't care for what you share.
Oh man. All right. But yeah, so Santa Claus franchise next episode, guys, for our Christmas episode. And Tivis, I need you to buffer so I can find the quote because I totally forgot a quote.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this extra long episode. Again, mainly this is because I'm on vacation, so it's easy for us. But
Yeah.
also, we wanted to give enough tribute to everyone who is no longer with us and talk about these movies in a proper capacity and, movie and special. So, it's, let us know what you thought about anything we talked about today. Anyone that we didn't mention that you think we should. Give us a shout out on social media or whatever. Join our Facebook group. I mean,
Yeah.
Literally,
Definitely.
if you don't like Facebook, just join for that. That's mostly what I do.
Yeah. I really don't do much on Facebook anymore. I stopped playing around with it. So yeah.
I'm on there though. He gave me access. I play around a bit.
I just mean,
And
the
sometimes
Facebook
I
in
accidentally
general.
give my opinion as to the show.
All right. Well, with that said, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us for this amount of time today, and we hope that you enjoyed both Wakanda Forever and
The Guardians special.
Guardians Christmas
Holiday
special.
special.
Yes, holiday special. Yes. And we hope that you tune in next episode to listen to our Santa Claus special. We will probably be, rubbing Tim Allen's dick off all day long. So, yeah, Tivis is not listening clearly because he didn't give me that weird eye look like he does when I usually say something like that.
No, see, Victoria just woke up, so we're deciding lunch.
Okay. All right. Well, with that said, guys, thank you very much. And Tivis, how did you enjoy today's show?
I liked it.
Awesome, guys. And today my quote comes from Wakanda Forever and Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. And it's a very short and simple and easy one, and it's only 2 words. And I mean, you can probably guess what it's going to be because I couldn't find any dang quotes I wanted to use. So, with that said, guys, thank you very much. And my quote from Black Panther 2, from any character that said this: Wakanda Forever. Peace.
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble. And join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Thanks and have a great day.